you had a piece of 1.5 inches, which means it's 2 inches in outside diameter. When's the last time you had a piece of that in your hand ever?
I understand that it's very strong when it's 5 feet long, but you're going to be running it how long?
Okay, hold on a second, just a second. Have you lost your mind? Do you not remember the hex beam, the support I built for my hex beam?
Well, was it the same as that?
I used 2-inch pipe and 1.5-inch pipe. Okay, and I used a piece of 1.25 inch because the hex beam had to go into that. I slid that over a fork truck fork, okay, at Cranesville. I put it all together so it's completely horizontal, and then I had my son pick me up. I was holding out at the end at 50 feet away from the fork truck, and he picked me up like nothing.
Boy, you must be getting good steel. I never saw steel like that. Are you using like mechanical tubing?
When's the last time you ever bought steel?
Oh, I did. I bought it a long time ago. I bought, I forgot, it was plumber's pipe. It was like black iron pipe, and that's not very strong.
You probably bought conduit. You don't even know what you're... No, this is... Ray, it's incredibly strong.
Well, okay, if you say it's strong enough, then it's strong enough. Then put it up and let's go. Let's get it up in the air.
And I'm using 3-inch pipe, okay? I got 21 feet of 3-inch pipe, and then I've got a piece of now I don't need 2.5-inch pipe because it's too heavy, and I don't need it for strength. So I've got a piece of 2.5-inch pipe that's a sleeve that goes into the output of the 3-inch pipe, and at the bend area of the 3-inch pipe, right where the bearing is, where it's going to bend, it's going to be double-walled pipe there. And then there's 2-inch pipe that goes inside of that, 21 feet, and then there's 1.5-inch pipe that goes inside of that 21 feet, and then I got 1.25-inch pipe for like the 5 feet at the very end where I'm going to attach the pulley, the marine pulley. So this is wicked strong stuff.
Okay, well, let me know how you make out when you get it up in the air, and we'll see. But you got a lot of area out there. I still think you're better off with that vertical. I think you get rid of all that stuff you got, put up the vertical. You could run the vertical and the N1 DVL special at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You could run those two antennas at the same time. You could run them in combination, both antennas at the same time. You could tie them together several different ways. I mean, Christ, there's so many you could do with that, and I still think it's going to work better.
Name one time my loop hasn't performed very, very well, and it's only 35 feet off the ground.
I know, and honestly, I don't understand why it works so good, but I believe the reason it works good is because you're in a big open field, and I think everybody else's loop is in the trees like my antenna is, and that soaks up a lot of power.
But my loop is in my yard, which it's all inside of trees. It's no, it's not in a field. This is not in a field at all. How do you think I'm holding the thing up? It's being held up by trees.
Where's John? Is John in here? A BYP?
I mean, he's been here. He's eyed the antenna.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was watching the movie when you called me, and I want him to watch it. He might be interested in watching this movie, so I wanted to tell him about it. See, I never forget a thing. I have a brain that's just incredible.
I can't remember my name most times, and as I get older, it's getting worse. There's no way I'm not going to have dementia or Alzheimer's or something because my memory is just shot.
Yeah, well, mine is too, but it's a short-term memory. But anyway, this movie is Hillary and Jackie. I just think he should watch it, and he might like it.
Well, we'll see if he gets on it. Judy, where'd you go?
I hope he went out to take down the Curly Q antenna. Hey, KT2D, where are you? Hello, KT2D, KT2D, N1DBL.
So I got into a fight today.
On 6 meters?
No, here in my yard with a rooster from next door.
Oh, who won?
I booted his ass right through the. I have these what are they? They're the bushy tree, the green arborvitaes in the back, and they're about 12 or 15 feet tall. And I walked out by the bird feeder, and he was out there with his hens, and he starts getting his feathers all ruffled and starts looking at you sideways. They look at you sideways, and they go. That's when you know that he's telling you that this is his area. And I looked at him. I said, "Are you kidding me? You're a bird, right?" And he gets his feathers all out, and he starts going, he gets all mouthy, and he flies at me. He jumps up and he flies at me, and I shove him to the ground, and then he comes at me again, and it's like a kickball game. I kicked his ass so far over those trees, he was walking sideways for about 2 hours after that.
Leave him alone.
No, I won't leave him alone, Carl, because that's what an idiot would do. That bird attacks people, okay? And he has to be taught not to attack people. And I don't care who he is or what he is, he's not attacking me in my yard.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I wish I lived there and I still had Gable.
Don't be a G to it.
Because the second that bird attacked, Gable would grab it around the throat, shake it, and you could have it for dinner.
Maureen says he should just shoot him. He says don't. And she of course doesn't want the bird to be hurt, so she goes, don't hurt the bird, just shoot him. Because all he does is attack people. He attacks the little kid next door. He attacks the owner. He's not my bird. I don't shoot him because he's not mine. But I understand he's trying to protect his flock, and I get that. But those birds are always over here. They're never in any danger at all, not even a tiny bit. But every once in a while, he gets himself all worked up, and he's got to show everybody how tough he is.
I think he'd look good on a plate.
He was walking in circles out there a little while ago. He didn't come back for any more.
I can't believe your dog doesn't eat it.
No, he doesn't go after him at all. No. The only time he goes after him is if he attacks like one of the girls, or if he attacks little Luca next door. Luca screams like he's being taken apart with a knife, So then Brownlee attacks him at that point.
Yeah, but that's very, very dangerous. That bird could claw his eyeball and blind him or something.
I agree, and that bird can fly right up equal to my face, so he would easily clear that kid's face. His head, no sweat. Yep.
I'd shoot the damn thing. But the hens need the rooster to have eggs, right?
No. The hen needs the rooster to have chicks, to fertilize the egg, but they have eggs without a rooster.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's useless. Why do they have them?
Well, he protects the hens from varmints, animals coming after him. He goes and he'll fight snakes, and he'll fight skunks or something like that if they come after, or a fox even. He'll go after a fox.
Wouldn't the fox take him out?
Oh, yeah, an adult fox would tear him apart, yeah. But the idea is he'd make a lot of ruckus. There'd be a lot of noise going on, and then you could go out there and shoot the fox or whatever.
KT2D, where are you?
I'm here. What's up?
Well, how many feet of wire are on that curly Q you got?
220.
Perfect. Go quickly. You got plenty of time. Run out there, grab it, pull it down, unwind that, and lay that under your antenna and hook it to the radio plate.
Don't make them sick again.
Yeah, 255. Yeah, sorry, 255. I thought you meant my 3/8 thing. Now 255 is on it's number 12 solid.
That's perfect. There's your first radial. Go, do it.
Yeah, and then I got the 220 that I had on the mod 1. inverted L. That's 220 feet, so there's the second radio.
Perfect. You're all set. Just throw those out there. Let's go. Step on it. You could have that done in an hour.
He said he'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, that's more like it.
Hey, Randy, did you ever notice how there's some people are very generous with someone else's labor?
Hey, as long as he's moving in the right direction, what does he care? Look at the huge improvement he has on his antenna now.
Yep, you got to do what you're told here on the Toad Harbor Net.
Yeah, hey, you're the perfect example of that. You got the biggest signal from anybody up there.
Yeah, now Randy's got me thinking about how can I get my loop up higher.
Well, that probably wouldn't help your signal to me, believe it or not, but it would certainly help your signal. A loop should be at least, and I mean at least 125 feet, and preferably 250 feet.
Yeah, that's a bit out of the question.
If you want to do it for 70 feet, I can tell you how to do it. It'll cost you about $1,000, and you get all four corners just the way you want them.
Well, we're going to inspect all this stuff when we come out to do this Stewart electric trip.
Okay.
Are you going to end up with that radio?
Well, if I want it, I just got to call and tell him I'm going to get it. That's what I want to know is Stan going to buy that radio, Carl?
You mean Steve? I cruised by his house today to talk to him about it, but he wasn't there.
I always think of him as Stan. You know, Stan, the guy who passed away. I always think of Steve as Stan. I don't know why that in my head that works like that.
Well, that's okay. I knew who you were talking about. I think I'll give him a call tonight on the phone. Rattle his cage a little bit. But I don't know. After spending the money to fix the other one, I don't know if he'll be allowed to. You know how married people are.
Yeah, I do. I'm married. My wife bought me my radio.
And she wouldn't have a sister or something, would she?
I would have already had her.
Susie, who'll be coming to the picnic with us.
Okay, she can buy me a radio.
I'm not thinking Susie can afford to buy you much of a radio. Maybe a Baofeng.
Oh, okay.
I thought Susie was going to buy a house.
She bought a camp at some lake, I forget the lake, and that's where she's been. But she's going to, she stays with us a lot, and she won't stay in that camp in the wintertime, but she may move in with us for the winter.
And what has she got? What has she got in tow?
Nothing at all. She's just, a single woman.
And the dog, right?
Well, yeah, a little tiny dog. It's smaller than our cat.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's a very nice dog. It's a fluffy dog. His name is Ricky, and he's a cool dog. He's a cool little dog. She likes it when he's here because I make him mind. I don't let him come out when we're eating dinner. I make him sit and stay, and I'm tough on him, and she likes it because every time she leaves, she brags about how great he behaved because he just had he went through Randy boot camp,
The dog whisperer.
Right. Well, just tell her I got a beautiful bedroom set and a nice room she can move into. That's if I approve her.
No, you're not going to have to worry about approving her because we already have approved her. We have a room for her all set up, and we come home, dinner's made, the house is clean. It's opposite of how it is now when Maureen's working so much, right? So she's like, I call her Alice, from the Brady Bunch.
Sounds like slavery.
Yeah, She does it because she wants to, she doesn't pay anything for food. She doesn't pay anything for lodging. She doesn't pay anything for anything. She uses Maureen's car because her car is no good in the snow. She's I don't know, she's awesome. She's just awesome. Susie is awesome. And so I love her. I mean, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for Susie, and it's the same as it comes back the other way. Whatever you need, she's right there for us, so she's awesome. She really is a sweetheart.
And how old is she?
She's got to be our age. She graduated in '83. I think it was '83 or '84. I think she may have been in my class. She may have graduated with me. We weren't friends in school. We weren't. So I think she graduated in '84. So she's 52, 53 in that range.
Now, was she ever married?
Yeah. She was married to a real low-life scumbag. She has a daughter named Allison, who's a beautiful young lady, and so she was married.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
She's not looking for nobody, I don't think. I mean, she probably dates or something. I don't know what she does, what her social life is all about. Right now, it's about taking care of her dad. She's got a dad that's not in great shape. He's a bit of a drinker. Well, he's a bit of a drunk, really, and he has had issues with his memory, and he kind of needs help, assisted living kind of a thing. So Susie has him living with. That's why she came back. That's why she sold her house in Oregon to come back to take care of her dad. And he's kind of a wreck, He's come out, and stayed here. And the guy is he's just a wreck. He's at the end of his life, and he's just in rough shape. But it is what it is, it's just how things work out for certain people.
Yeah, right, okay.
A guy down the road died last night. We had an ambulance flying by last night when I was here on the net, and the guy wound up dying. He had a heart attack, and it was actually the lady's boyfriend, the lady who plants corn in our field here. It was her boyfriend. He went out for a walk with the dog, came home, and they came home, and the lady came home and she heard a thump, and she went in the house, and the guy was laying there dead.
Was that all those sirens?
Yeah, last night, yes.
Wow, things I'm telling you, I'm so old. Could be any day now.
How old was the guy, Randy? How old was he?
62 or 63, something like that, and he was in good shape. He's been here because she didn't plant this year, but of the last few years, she stopped one day and asked if she could use part of our field to plant corn, and I said, yeah, of course, no problem. So she would come here and plant corn and like that, and he would come and help weed the corn and pick the corn and stuff. And he was like an average guy. He wasn't. I don't think he was an athlete or anything, but he certainly wasn't heavy, and he seemed like he was in okay shape. I'm really surprised he died of a heart attack.
It's number one thing is genetics, and then there's there's lifestyle choices that come in, but genetics is the big driver. Yeah, I look at when I see people dropping, and I'm going, well, I'll tell you, I look at Schopenhauer. When Schopenhauer was my age, he had already been dead 15 years.
Who's Schopenhauer?
German philosopher.
Oh, okay. What do you mean when he was your age, he was already dead 15 years?
Meaning that he died 15 years before my age.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Well, a lot of those odd people, this guy, Schopenhauer, now he was from where, the 1800s, 1700s?
Yeah, he was, let's see, there's a lot of, he had some pretty interesting sayings, like, here's one you'll appreciate. Schopenhauer's definition of entropy, and the concept of entropy, I'm sure. But if you take a spoonful of wine and add it to a barrel full of sewage, you get sewage. if you take a spoonful of sewage and add it to a barrel full of wine, you get sewage. And that was his tongue-in-cheek way of describing Trippy.
Well, let me ask you this. Was he known to do cocaine?
I don't think any of those, Nietzsche, Franz Kafka, Schopenhauer, Freud, all those Swiss, Austrian, Germans, try to figure out the difference. We can debate the difference between them, the nationalities. I don't think there was a one of them that did not.
Right. Do you understand that cocaine? You can do cocaine in your 30s and your 40s, quit the drug, and die from it in your 50s or your 60s. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I know. Remember the Celtics kid? Was it Len Bias? The kid was drafted by the Celtics. Big star and everything. The night of the NBA draft, goes out, parties, does cocaine. By his admission, or his friends, the very first time, and dropped dead as a doornail. I knew it can kill you the first time, but I didn't know what you just described, Ray. That's interesting. That can explain a lot.
Very few people understand cocaine. Here's what happens. Let's say you're in school and you're in your college years and you're doing cocaine in your 20s and your 30s and you're a real cocaine freak like Lisa. I don't understand how Lisa's still alive, to be honest with you. So what happens is finally you grow up and you quit cocaine, but for some reason cocaine gets into the heart muscle and it just stays there dormant 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and then all of a sudden one day it just releases, it paralyzes your heart and you die. And that's why all those coke people died. You remember that, I don't know if do you remember the artist there, the guy, what was his name, the Pitchman that had the big black beard, Pitchman, he died from that.
I don't know him.
Well, the point is that many people die from cocaine, but they haven't done it in, say, 15, 20, 25 years, and that's a little-known fact. Once you do it, you've opened yourself up to the thing that any time, any place, for no reason whatsoever, that chemical that had got packed up in your heart, all of a sudden it releases one day, and it just paralyzes your heart, and you're dead.
Tell you, Obama and Bill Clinton must be concerned.
Well, let's hope so in both those cases. I never did it, so I never have to worry about that.
No, neither did I. It's one of those things that I always avoided. It wasn't available to me either, at least in the travels. And I think a lot of folks that are not drug people, the drug people don't come around you, and you just don't hang with drug people. And then, when I've been places when I suspected there was some drugs going on, it just wasn't worth it to be there, so I would just, absent myself from it, because it's just not worth it. All the ramifications that can, come down on me just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, okay, well, this will be the last transmission on it, but I've known, not personally, of course, but in the last probably 30 years, I've probably known 8 or 10 people that died from cocaine, and they hadn't done it in many, many years for the reasons that I just gave you. And that's, like I said, that's a kind of, not many people realize that, but a lot of people just drop dead. Their heart stops. It just stops your heart. It just, it's just like a massive overdose. It would be like just, snorting, an ounce of cocaine and you just die. But it happens over time when you do it, and it just keeps on building up in your heart muscle, and then nobody knows how or why, it just comes out one day, and it just, like I said, just stops your heart, and that's it, you're dead. So that's what people who have done cocaine all their life are really always on borrowed time. And one DVL.
Yep, KT Tootie. I've devoted myself to trying to control the one legal drug, alcohol.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big alcohol person either. I can drink, but I don't generally enjoy drinking, so it's no big deal. Anyway, I'm going to go throw myself. I went out today also, Randy, and I went to the store and I bought some. I get this pork on sale. It's starting to get old, and they sell it really cheap. I mean, really cheap. And the steaks are 40% off, 50% off. And I'm just filling my freezer, but I bought some pork chops today, so I'm going to go grill a few pork chops, and I'll be back in probably 30 minutes or so. And one DBL.
Yeah, I think I'm going to run up and throw a burger on while I'm unwinding my vertical and laying it out as a radial. I'll be back about then, too. KT Tootie.
20 over 9. 20 over 9. Wow, I'm telling you, wait a second. Hang on again. It's very painful, because that right shoulder's a little stiff, but hang on. There it is. I'm patting myself on the back. Okay, see you later. N1 DVL.
Yeah, Randy, we got to make them one of those automatic back patters,
Yeah, I'm going to make them one all right.
And make it a little too strong spring-loaded so it dope slaps them into next week.
That's right.
Hey, Ray. That was a line one of my friend's father said. Every time the kid would act up, my friend Marky, his father goes, Marky, I'll Jap slap you into next week. He was a World War II Marine, and I probably politically incorrect in this day and age, but I just thought it was funny as hell.
I hear somebody way in the background. I can't make them out, but anyway, I understand, and that's a pretty good term. I'm not offended by that at all. All right, I'll see you later. Go have your burger, and I sent you to your phone some of the my cannon barrels, and also the beginning of the slab and all that stuff. So we'll talk about it later. KB2ZVP.
Yeah, I just looked at them. They look great. Thanks, Randy. KT Tootie. Be back in a bit.
I guess I'm not getting out. You couldn't hear me on my underground antenna, Randy?
What's that? Was that you, Tim, trying to get in there?
Tim and Mark is in there, too.
Yeah, I was on the underground antenna running 100 watts.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Why would you even try that?
I didn't try it. I thought I did it by accident. It's my listening antenna. It works great.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hola, senor. ¿Cómo está, mon ami?
Yeah, you're weak. I found that antenna feed line, Tim. I'll be able to bring that with me to the picnic.
Oh, appreciate it. I'm going with Bob. We're leaving Latham at 9 o'clock. We should be there. 9 o'clock, is that what he said? We should be there around noon, I guess.
I thought he was going to leave a lot earlier and go to the PT surplus before the big summit.
I didn't hear that. They said come by his house at 9. That's the arrangement. He's going to be on 5-2.
Oh, that may have been Carl talking about doing that. Carl, are you still there?
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe leaving here around 9, getting down there around 10:30 or so.
Yeah, it took me an hour and a half to get from Glen to Kingston Block, so it's right around the corner from there. So, if you leave at 9, you're there by 10:30. Yeah, it should be no problem.
Yeah, I was going to take the scenic route, 145 down through, where you just were there a couple of weeks ago, and down Catskill and that way. I'm not going to go on a throughway. I'm going to take the scenic route.
I started to leave, but I heard Tim in there. Yeah, we can leave. I think if we leave at 9 and I take the throughway, we can be there hour and change maybe if 10 o'clock. But as we get closer and we figure out what the good arrival time will be, we can adjust the departure. and I can coordinate with Tim, where to pick him up. And anyway, all right, I'll be back in a bit. KT Tootie.
Roger, Dodger. Mark, where are you located?
That's Mark in Pennsylvania.
Oh, you can copy it. He's got too much static until the nighttime comes.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
You know that guy we worked, the Fox Mike 00, the guy down there in Pennsylvania, or near Pittsburgh, I guess he was, and you guys went off to 2 meters. I could hear him good up here.
Roger, Dodger. Well, I worked him on 2 meters also, and I think the beam wasn't even point on him.
Oh, well, yeah, I was surprised I could even hear the guy, but I could hear him better on 2 meters than I could on 6.
Yeah, I did hear him better. Everything went wacko. My indicator doesn't indicate. I had no 222, no 432. I didn't even bother with 900, so I didn't do much this contest.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to submit a log. But I just, wanted to work some contacts and test out the radio and gave the SB220 a good workout, which he really hadn't run for quite a long time.
Yeah, is that Randy's old SB220?
No, it's similar. I bought it from Pete Ray. I forget what his call is, but it's one of those ones that KM1H converted.
Yeah, he and I went up there together. I had a 200, and the guy really didn't know how to do the 200 because you have to neutralize it. An article came out in QSC, and that was a real dog because that has the 572s in it.
Yeah, Pete sold you that amp, and he bought my amp that I had, the one I painted up like the Henry.
Yeah, didn't it say Mountain something, or you had some kind of a name on it?
Summit amps, I think it was. That was Jamie's amplifier company.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember. Upstairs in your little cubbyhole Radio Shack.
Yeah, that's right.
Is the band woke up enough yet?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, put on your amp.
Yeah, oh, darn, I forgot. Hold on, let me turn it on. Okay, give me 3 hours. I think I'm going to smoke some pork chops while I wait.
Mark is really strong here, S9, and got a big signal here. He doesn't even need to have an amp.
He's running his amp.
But he doesn't hear me.
You need an amp.
All of a sudden this thing started to work.
The band just needs to, we're still way too early.
Yeah, you're 10 over 9, Mark.
Yeah,
Let's see, what have I got? I've got an even 500 whiskey.
Point there yet.
N1QWN.
QWN, go ahead.
Yeah, is this Tim?
Roger.
Yeah, how do you copy from Cape Cod?
5x9.
Roger.
How you copy me?
About the same. Sounded good.
Roger, Dodger.
I was just curious, is Mark hearing me?
Nah, he doesn't hear anything. Doesn't even hear himself.
Hello, Mark.
I think I heard somebody say hello, Mike.
We'll try later. N1QWN, Cape Cod.
QWM, I believe that was.
Roger.
Hey, if you hear Tim out there, tell him I said hello.
Yeah, humor.
Randy heard me on my underground antenna. I accidentally transmitted into it.
Is Randy in his mobile?
No, he's doing pork chops or grilling hamburgers. I don't know what he's doing.
That
I'm not
sounds
doing
good.
any pork chop. I already had my dinner.
Oh, you did? Okay, I went out to grill hamburgers, no big deal. Got everything ready. I had left the gas on. I had no fuel. How about that?
That's why we have a spare tank. But we had steaks. Maureen made us some delicious strip steak on the grill today.
Yeah, I hate to grill, so I probably did that on purpose.
I want to let you know, Randy, that even when the band sucks and it's broke, you're still the biggest signal I hear.
That's because I'm running a loop. I think Carl's probably just as strong to you as I am. He's running a loop as well in the same power. Yeah, loop rule.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
I've never seen a situation yet where they didn't work.
I have. I've seen several, and I've seen some that are really good into Europe here on 160. So some work, some don't. Maybe it's the ground under them. I don't know.
I've worked Europe a lot of times with my loop antenna, and I also have worked Poland when a whole bunch of guys on 1850 with vertical antennas, and these guys all think they know what the hell they're doing. There was a bunch of them in there, and there was 8 guys in there. 5 of them could work the guy in Poland. 3 of them couldn't. I worked them, of course, with my loop, and then I went out to my mobile, and I worked them out of my pickup.
Yeah, Roger. But I've seen it where loops don't work. So I don't know. I guess anybody can put up an antenna that doesn't work.
That bingo right there, Tim. Now you got it. It's not the design that doesn't work. It's the application.
Usually the builder.
What was that?
Comes down to the builder. Hey, Randy, you hearing me?
I can hear you. You're right in my noise. You've got a strong signal. You're a little over S9, but I got just a steady S9 static level.
Yeah, I got about the same, but you're getting over it. All right, just wanted to see if Barnstable Harbor could make it to Toad Harbor.
Yeah, you're making it fine to the People's Republic of Vermont. KA1LH is that.
That's a beautiful thing, 100 watts.
Yeah, who was it the other night that was going to bury their loop? Do you remember? The guy never came back in. He was running QRP 10 watts or something.
Life is too short for QRP.
Yeah, Tim's starting to come up a little more now.
Yeah, he was running QRP. That gave me the idea to bury my receiving loop. It didn't help it a bit, but, I got a nice diamond in the ground.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about the lawnmower.
I don't worry about it anyway.
Worms come out of the ground.
I put a lot of pegs down anyway. Each leg of it has probably 25 pegs bent over a welding rod is what I use.
That's what I always use for my radios and like that, and that works really, really well. And it only takes 2 weeks before the antennas or the wires are just gone in the grass anyway. You can't even see them.
Roger, Dodger. I'm pulling all my verticals up on my Foursquare, putting them up about 8 feet above ground. It's just too wet out there.
I don't understand that. You're pulling up your verticals because it's too wet. I don't. You mean radios?
No, putting the verticals at 8 feet.
You're putting them at 8 feet. I don't get it, Tim. You're putting them on poles or something?
Roger, Dodger.
That's your Foursquare for 40 meters, right?
Roger. Because I'm not
so you're taking you're raising the vertical, so you're going off the ground 8 feet on a wooden post. I got it.
You guys double.
Yeah, that's okay. We don't mind. We don't listen. We just talk.
Sometimes it sure seems that way.
Carl, you still there?
I am.
What are you running on 6?
What was I running?
Yeah, antenna power.
A little over 1,000 watts to a 6M5 at 70 feet.
Wow, that ought to do well. Yeah, that guy was, he's always hard. I very seldom work him. I think it was, I don't know, K3SO or something, I forget.
Yeah, well, he was in there, and I could hear him, but I kept waiting until he came up, and that's when I started calling, and then you jumped in there. So I guess, and then he started turning his beam around and went away to nothing. So it was better when we started.
Yeah, he was better off the back of the beam. Yeah, here it is, Whiskey 3, Sugar Oscar, Fox November 00. Randy used to work him all the time when he was a big 6-meter guy.
I was on 6 meters this morning around 5:30, and I had a pile up on there.
Hey, Carl.
Yes, Mark.
Thank you.
For what?
For answering him.
Hey, Carl?
Sugar 5 noise level here. It's very quiet.
I'm at solid S9 right now, and it's not normally this noisy here. I'm not sure why. I wonder if it's because Maureen's... it doesn't sound like ignition. I'm S0 in Bogland and about S4 on the loop.
Hey, Carl, what's the rig you're running?
IC 7610.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, sounds great.
Well, thank you. I owe it all to the world-famous Toad Harbor net.
There you have it.
Sounds like you fell in with the wrong crowd.
Well, you know, I'm going to meet most of that wrong crowd next Saturday.
What time are you going to get there, Carl?
I was figuring 10:30ish or so. I don't know if people got plans to go check out this surplus place, or is that something that we can do after we get there, or what the story is. So I imagine some kind of plan will gel as we approach the big day.
You mean I should bring a pocket full of money?
You could certainly break away, and we're going to be there all day, so there's plenty of time to break away and go check that place out.
Yeah, Tim had a good question. Should we bring money?
You don't have to pay me, but if you want to buy anything at the surplus place, you better bring money, I guess.
I wonder if they got any good pulleys.
What kind of pulleys you need?
I'd like to get some for my wire on my loop. That's where there's close enough tolerance that the wire can't slip in, but the pulley itself is like 1.5 inches or 2 inches around, so it's not making such a sharp corner.
I'll bring the ones that I've got ordered. They should be in tomorrow. They're marine pulleys, and they weren't terribly expensive. Amazon has them. You could go right on there and look at them.
Are they the ones that you can pull the pin and slip a rope or a wire in and then put it back together?
Oh, I think that you may be. I don't know. Boy, can you do that? I know they have them like that. These are rebuildable. They are bearinged. They do have a bearing in them, and it's a V roller, not a rounded roller.
Okay, yeah, because I like the ones where they open up, where you can pull the pin out, because, my loop is all soldered and everything. There's really no way of getting a pulley on there that doesn't open up unless I want to cut the wire somewhere.
Oh, I have that here. I have, I've got... Oh, they're probably 2.5-inch pulleys. They have a brass wheel, and they're stainless steel on the outside, stamped steel, and it's got a cotter pin, pin in this, a pin with a cotter pin holding it together, and you can open it up and drop your. Yeah, I've got those here.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe getting something like that. But if they got them on Amazon, I'll just take a look there. But the ones I have that are close enough tolerance to the side so the wire can't get off the pulley and jammed in between are really too small of a diameter. So it's more putting a tight bend in the wire than a nice soft radius. You know what I mean?
Is this Tom?
Yeah, well, I know what you're talking about. The ones that I have are pretty big. I've got some of the small ones, but I've got some pretty big ones, too. I actually use them on a cable. We have an umbilical that goes on a traveling batcher, and I use them upside down, and that's why I buy these. I open them up, slip them on the cable, put it back together, and hook it to the cord.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, if you happen to have something along, I'll take a look at it and see what you got.
K3FHC and 3 or more. I'm sorry? 35. In 3 or more.
Is that Chris?
I don't believe I'm making it. K3DRT is listening.
Yeah, you're making it.
Hey, Dirt, how the heck you been?
Oh, I've been okay, I guess. I just haven't been on the air very much. I kind of took a tumble in my tub and had a concussion and neck strain and back, so I wasn't in very good condition the last couple of months.
Yeah, I'm getting killed with static here tonight right now. I'm having a difficult time copying you.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, on the 500. Hey, now, you know about the get-together next Saturday. Any chance you could make a trip up?
No, I can't drive very far, Randy. Because of my neck, it starts pain as soon as I drive any distance.
Oh, I understand. I know you have a Ford, so I wasn't sure if you felt comfortable driving that far.
No, I'd feel okay driving it that far. Yeah, I don't even think we're going down to the reunion of Tennessee this year. I don't believe so.
Are you going to have that towed down, or are you really going to drive it that far?
I thought about catching a guy at the truck stop with a flatbed, maybe driving it right on.
All right. Anyway, it's real noisy here. It's a tough copy. So I'll be back in a second. I'm getting pretty dry. I've got to go get some lemon water. Be back in a bit. KB2ZVP.
Real quick on Become My Grandfather. So we'll catch you another time with our K3DRT listening. Up there, Mike. Oops, don't believe I'm getting that K3DRT clip.
K3DRT, Whiskey 3, Hotel November, hard copy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the band's really dropped down. I know Randy was only a 6 to me, and that's very unusual. Usually he's a 20 to 30 to 40, but boy, something dropped out here. Go ahead.
Roger, where are you located?
Yeah, what'd you say?
Where are you located?
Yeah, but just a band. It ain't dark enough here, I don't believe.
You're 5x9, 59, and I have a S5 noise floor.
Oh, okay. I'm getting you about a 7 to an 8 right now, but really the band's really down. Everybody on here is really down, and that's very unusual. So, okay, well, we'll sit back and maybe wait for the band to come back up there. You have a good one. Thanks for the call. K3DRT, no, I'll be clear.
K3DRT, W3HHN, Roger.
Oh, there's DRT.
Yeah, how you doing?
What's new and exciting?
Yeah, I've been listening. I don't do much talking because I haven't talked all that good, but I've been listening to you and your experiments.
I didn't even know your antenna could come this low on the band.
Oh, yeah. It can go anywhere with Fireline.
Hey, now.
Yeah, when you have a Tech tuner now, you can go anywhere.
Oh, I don't know if the 10 Tech tuners Toad Harbor approved.
I kind of doubt it. But they work pretty good.
Yeah, I had to give them pictures and submit a form and do all kind of, they had to form a board and committee about my tuner, so it finally got passed 2 weeks later.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been listening, and you've been coming in real good. Matter of fact, right now you're 30 or more over. I've been sitting here listening, for an hour about every night. It's just that I don't get until I really start feeling better. About the only band, Fritz, I've been on. I talked to Rodney and Dave a little bit, but that's been about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't anybody up on the other one?
No, there ain't been nobody up there the last 2 nights.
Really? Everybody okay?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they're just into something, or maybe they go away, or somebody's sick or something. It's hard to tell.
Well, it's that time of the year, vacations and family and all that nonsense. What, are you sick? You're not feeling well?
Yeah, I took a flip in my tub and got a concussion on my head. It's been like 2 months now, and then strained my neck real bad and my back. So it's been to quite a couple of hospitals and a few doctors. I guess it's just going to take time to go away.
I know there's easier ways to, commit to aquatic therapy, right?
Yeah, but they wanted to give me therapy, but I kind of do my own here tags.
I can tell. Well, I'll tell you what, you take it easy and don't push yourself, because if you're dealing with concussion like that could get real ugly real quick.
Yeah, it can. I know they took me in those scans for blood on the brain and different things, but, I tend to get a headache a lot, so I don't know when that's going to go away.
Yeah, that'll take a little time, yeah, especially if you got a good one. Well, there's no bleeding on the brain, right?
No, I was really worried about that too, but no, I went in and they did that CT, or what you call scan, where you go in that loop, and then I was in the loop for something else. I forget what that was now. I've been through the loop a couple times now.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Yep, you'll heal up. You just gotta be easy, take it easy, and do what the doc tells you to do, and no more aquatic therapy lessons without a professional, okay?
Yeah, that's for sure. The only thing you kind of have to worry about, Mark, is if you flip in the tub and your wife comes in and asks if your life insurance good, you're in trouble.
Don't put the sugar in the coffee.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, you've been sounding good. I've been listening. You've really been booming in lately. I tell you, you're really strong.
Well, it might have to do with the fact that I finally got the garden weeded, so maybe all that decaying vegetation made the soil more acidic and more conductive. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. You still using your tub tuner?
Of course.
Oh, man, I've seen a picture of it, and that's impressive.
They keep telling me that. I didn't think it was all that glorious. I mean, it was laying around, so I used it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, the fellow that, the professor that brought his Helicon Wine 160 vertical to the place up there, where you meet to eat, he passed away, We haven't heard nothing from him for a couple of years, but really that thing really worked when he was shutting in his house. You've probably seen that.
I'm not sure if I did or not. I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a little break here. There's quite a few guys in here, so we got to keep it spinning around, or somebody's going to get their feathers up. So, we'll you don't have to go. Just we'll get back here in a minute. Back to net control.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm just going to sit back here and listen here for a good while there. I'm not going to get back on too much here. So have a good night there, Mark, and everybody else. K3DRG clear.
All right, appreciate you checking in. Take it easy until you get you all healed up.
K3SVK.
Hey, Randy.
Yes, Mark.
The picture of those poles, are those the poles you're using for support?
Yes, it is.
Do you think they're big enough?
I'm hoping that they are.
Good Lord.
Hey, if you're going to do it.
Look like a bunch of sticks.
Huh?
It makes what I use look like a bunch of sticks.
Well, Mark, you have to understand that I like to build stuff so it's going to be sturdy,
I get it. Yeah, I'd like to take mine up another 10 feet, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to put 2 sections of tower in the corners there and then put what I have on the towers and go up. But we get more money together and tower and all that jazz, I'm going to leave it just the way it is because it seems to work pretty well that way.
He wants to make sure he doesn't get hit with the tsunami. KA1LH is that.
Hello, Stephen.
What'd you build now? Hey, Mark.
sir. Yes, sir.
Is Randy in the mobile at this house?
He's at home.
Okay, it's not open yet then for me.
Yeah, Ben's a little bit poo-poo tonight, yeah. It's starting to get there because he's touching up into the red on the log, and if Tim comes back in, I bet you Tim's probably at 5S units now.
Yeah, it doesn't really come around until almost 9 o'clock.
I don't know who that is you're talking to, Mark.
Who is that I'm talking to?
K2L2Z.
VK, the weak one.
KA3SVK, the weak one.
Oh, then him.
He's running QRP.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I've got this crazy noise level. I was just in the basement, actually snapped off every breaker in the house, and now I'm resetting everything, except for this one, just to see if it was being generated from inside the house. But it's not. It's from outside.
Yeah, he said he just got done putting up an 80-foot tower, and he's running 3.5 watts, and he wanted to see if he could hear him.
I don't even know what to say.
He's off the net.
He's not off the net, Randy, because at 3.5 watts, he'll never get on the net.
W2KRY.
Hey, that's not true. I went down one night as low as this rig could go at 0 setting, and they were hearing me. It's all about the conditions, my brother.
Hey, Chris, I can see your lips moving. How you doing? All right, knock it off, turn the amp on.
Amplifiers are required until at least 9:30.
Alright, it's obvious you couldn't hear me at 0.
Oh, they can't do that now.
You know what it is? I'll bet you it's that John Deere out there running. She's out there running around underneath that loop antenna. That's what's taking out my receiver.
What is, Randy?
My wife, she's out there with a John Deere driving around the backyard mowing, and I think that's all the noise that I'm getting here.
Oh, is it, you got like a tick, 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 tick sound to it?
It doesn't sound like ignition. That's what I was saying earlier. This is just like an atmospheric noise or it's just very steady static. It doesn't sound like an engine.
That's what I have all the time.
Altoona.
Altoona?
A tuna.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Yeah, that used to be good, but you can't find good tuna fish anymore in a can. Like you can hardly find good tuna in a restaurant anymore. It'll be another fish they'll have extinct.
Bumblebee tuna.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
KE3EG here, Joe. Did you check your smart meter? Because I get that from mine.
Oh, which Randy?
The bad Randy.
Oh, go ahead, Randy.
I think he knew who you were talking to.
Yes, did you check your, like I said, I get that same thing from my smart meter.
I don't have a smart meter.
It's not that then.
Nope.
Well,
all right, just listen. KE3EG.
Intelligent noise.
Yeah, no, it's odd tonight. I don't ever hear this much noise like this. I don't know what is up.
This is when a log would really perform well for you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm looking at the pile of crap that I have here to build this not balun, this isolation transformer, and I thought, well, I could throw 30 feet of a square out there, 30 foot aside like nothing,
At 20 minutes, you'd have it done. Yep, run a couple 5 turns through a little 1.5 inch core balun, RG58U. center conductor to the loop, shield to the feed cable, run her into the house, and you'd be done. 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, you know what, Randy?
Yeah.
I was on, what was I on? I think I was on 80 this morning, about 6:30 in the morning, fooling around trying to find somebody, and I heard some old farts talking about some geomagnetic storm coming.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, if that's happening, yeah, that's what you'd hear. That would be the first wave.
This is what it sounds like. It sounded like when we had that remember Canaan was all going crazy about this high-speed crap that was coming to the Earth, this plasma. And it sounds just like that. So it very well possibly could be that, Randy.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
5S units.
You and Mark doubled, Randy. I'm sorry, Mark, you and Randy doubled. What was that?
Don't be shy.
Okay, I'll take it then. I said you dropped down below 5S units. You were at almost 5 over 9. 5 over 9. So the band is doing some rather flip-flopping around here.
You know, I'm surprised it's like this at 8 o'clock. Normally, right around 9, it gets a little bit cool, weird. It gets up and down a little bit. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll just do the best we can.
That's right.
Sounding good over here now, Randy. It's starting to pick up.
Well, if it gets real bad, what you can do is you can go to a quiet frequency and turn your volume up a little bit and listen to the noise floor, and you'll start hearing it come in like waves in the shore. I didn't think you could hear that. I was reading some website there. They're talking about all that kind of stuff, and they had a little demo video of what that sounded like. So I did that one night, and sure enough, there it was. I'm like, wow. So your HF antenna is a poor astronomical receive antenna. Little radio astronomy going on there. Now imagine if you had a huge field of 160-meter loops, like 20 of them phased.
I'd be deafer than I already am.
And then you could just steer them around, and you could listen to, obviously you could listen to our own star, which would be deafening. But at night you could steer that around and listen to other stellar objects on real low frequencies, like down here.
Stellar?
Stellar, man.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You're getting it. All we need is a grant from the federal government and a plot of land out in some useless desert somewhere where there's nobody within 800 miles, and we can go to it. You bring the computer, and I'll bring the HF rig.
I'm there. Let's go.
We'd have to have some kind of software, though, wouldn't we?
We can make it up as we go.
Imagine the phasing equipment you need for all that. 20 loops?
Actually, you know what? Now that the government's turned the HAARP, the HARP unit, over to a bunch of college kids up in Alaska there, they probably wouldn't put it up too much of a fight. We could take that over no problem.
Oh, dude, that's like my dream station. You imagine putting that whole array of cross dipoles on something like 20 or 40 meters?
Yep.
Holy cow, like 6 billion watts effective radiated power on 40 meters.
1.21 gigawatts.
When I go when I go on 40 and I'll be calling CQ and I'll be like really, just mellow and nice and, and I'll just say, yeah, and I've got like 200 people calling back and giving me great signal reports and stuff, and I'll just say, yeah, I'm just running, I'm running my 160 loop. I don't really have a dedicated 40 meter antenna. I just have this loop, and I just wanted to see if it would tune up here, and everybody's like, oh my God, your signal's so big. Okay, I would be doing the same thing with a Harper Ray, with 60 over S9 blowing, everybody flying off the radios. Yeah, I'm just running this little antenna, trying it out, see if I can get it to tune on 40.
Yeah, 3,500 miles away.
That's a Hustler with a coil on the bottom.
All right.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Carl.
I got a message from Steve, or should I say two. No thank you on the 7600, and he's going to have to give his regrets for the picnic. I guess one of his sons and their family is flying in from Kansas City that day.
I win.
I'll give you the $5 when I see you, Randy.
That's too bad.
Thank you, Carl.
All right, well, yeah, I just talked to him on the phone.
I like the X-ray beam.
I met him one time, and I've talked to him for many, many years. Although he doesn't remember much of it, but I had a lot of respect for him for a lot of years. Used to listen to him talk about a lot of different, very interesting things. He's very nice. He's a very nice man. Oh, that's right. You met him too. I was with you when we met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was there too.
Over pancakes. And oscilloscopes.
I mean, how could you go wrong with pancakes?
I had an omelet.
As did I. I wasn't really impressed with their breakfast, to be honest. I thought it was okay, but nothing to write home about.
It was the company that counted.
I agree.
The conversation was so engaging, I can't even remember what I had to eat.
Okay, Randy, here's an example for you for the log antenna. On the transmit antenna right now, I have a 7 to 8 steady, hard atmospheric fry on the receive, just on the noise floor, and on the log it's 0, bouncing up to about a half an S unit.
Right, but how am I on the log versus your receiving antenna? Now, maybe I'm not the perfect guy because you and I seem to have a pretty good shot to each other, but say a weaker guy, like Tim, I'm not sure if Tim is still here. I don't think he is. I shouldn't have picked on him. Say a weaker guy like Carl, somebody that's here, how much better do you hear them on the log than the receiving antenna?
Yeah, I can cut my power back if you want to hear me weak.
No, you're fine just the way you are. You're 10 to 15 over 9 on the transmit antenna with that 7 to 8 constant noise. You are 5 over 9 on the log with that 0 noise floor.
That's amazing.
So Kanan says there's a minor geomagnetic storm happening right now.
Yeah, we had E-skip on 6 today.
Yeah, it was good last night too, Tim.
Yeah, Roger, yeah, I was on last night.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I worked so much stuff on 6. I've got 800 grid squares, over 800 worked on 6.
Holy cow, isn't that worth some kind of award or something?
I do have an award, piece of wallpaper for 500, but I haven't confirmed the other 300, and I'm not going to do it. It costs you $2 or $3 to get a QSL card.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Times 800. Yeah, oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Randy, that's without a preamp. That's just straight received.
I could buy a new rig for the money I got in my VUCC certificate.
Yeah, Tim, you were up to almost 3 or 4 S units, and now you're right back down to almost 0 again.
That's amazing. You're about 20 over.
Now you're back up again. So, yeah, we must be in a geomagnetic event. The band's up and down like crazy.
I'm running the log here, and I buried it underground just to be funny over it.
Well, you didn't have to bury the log to be funny, Tim. I find that you're funny most of the time anyway.
Hey, thanks a lot. It works just as well underground as on top of the ground.
Well, the bog, they said you could bury it a couple inches under the ground if you wanted to as well.
And I didn't have any soil to fill in the trench I built, so I went over to my compost and put in the log. Now I got a stinky signal.
Oh, that explains it.
I don't know, Randy. I think you should try one just for grins and giggles and see if it works out.
I'll bring this stuff with me to work tomorrow, and how many turns? Oh, you didn't build one like I'm going to build. Okay, I'll build one of these things up, and when I get some time tomorrow, if I get some time tomorrow, and I'll throw an antenna out there. Sure, why not?
Yeah, like I said, the way I did mine was 5 turns tight on a 1-inch round. It's like a regular power Ballon core. Bought it at the Hamfest for $1. And 5 turns tight of the RG58 center conductor to the loop, and the shield of that to your feed cable. That's what I did. But whatever you want to do, anything that would be appropriate or like that.
I could do that exact same thing. I've got a bunch of chokes here. I'm not sure the metal or the what they're made from, but I've got the exact parts that the guy in the article that started all this, to us anyway. I think you probably got a hold of the same exact article. I've got all the same parts that he uses, and that's what I was gonna just duplicate that, with a 30-foot square.
Hey, you want a brand new one from DX Engineering, Randy?
No. I've got a brand new one right here on my desk. It's in pieces, and I got lots of wire to build it. I'm going to build it.
Yeah, don't waste the money. It's a nice little project.
I did. $42 it cost me with shipping and handling.
I've got each the box and the connector and everything is like $5 a piece to build them.
Yeah, but you got the special resistor.
Yeah, you get that with. That resistor. That's some resistor. Oh, you're cracking me up.
What special resistor?
Oh, that transformer from DX Engineering, the KD9SV bug, comes with a special resistor.
It's what, 1/2 watt?
Yeah, what is it, 460 ohms or something?
Yeah, it looks like a 1/2 watt resistor. Yeah, I'll throw in the resistor too, Randy. You can have it.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 470 ohm, 2-watt resistors right in front of me.
Where are you supposed to put the resistor?
One into the ground rod at the end of your bog.
Oh.
If you want to terminate it.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in away from Randy so I don't have to hear him.
Oh, this is for a bog, not a log. Okay, sorry, brain dead, had a blonde moment.
Tim, you're always the only way you're gonna not hear me is if you shut the radio off. And then I'm gonna bleed through your granddaughters or your grandson's baby monitor.
I did hear you. This is no joking. I didn't have the antenna hooked up, and I did hear you coming in on whatever wiring is here in the shack over my antenna tuner or whatever.
Wow, no antenna connected, and he still heard you. That's impressive.
I worked KA2EXB one time on my dummy load.
Oh, we used to do that. Remember, we used to have our battles with our antenna, the 259 antenna analyzers. So this is funny. We were talking about that because we did it back in the old days, back when Carl, when you used to talk on VHF, and so we were on HF one night, and Ray was saying, "I wonder if you guys can hear me." And there was a few people. I think Gary in North Carolina was there, and somebody else was there. And Ray put on his analyzer, and sure enough, we could all hear him. He would get to the frequency and we'll go by and come back, and you could hear him. And I said, well, geez, I bet you can hear me too. And Ray was saying, see, that's the mark of a good antenna right there. If you can hear me on whatever the milliwatt, I don't know what the hell it is, but it's low power, obviously. He goes, He goes, I can be heard in North Carolina on mine. I said, wait a minute. What makes you think I can? He goes, because I didn't build your antenna. So I said, okay, smart Alec, I'm going to hook mine up. So I hooked mine up, but me being the guy who I am, I turned it on. I get it kind of dialed in. I reach over and hit the foot switch. I put it through my amplifier. So whatever milliwatts was going into the 82, something more than that was coming out of it, and I killed a way bigger signal than he did. Well, that's just evil. Hey, winning's winning, Carl. Winning's winning, buddy.
Was that 160, Randy?
Yeah, it was on 160. That's right.
You're probably doing 10 watts.
I don't know. Maybe if it was a watt even, you know what I mean? But I just had to.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got a nice box here, and I got a T200 Ballon, and I got the SO239, and I got the output to the open line, and Devin's going to line me up a Ballon when I go there on Wednesday. Bifiler.
A bifiler?
Yeah, bifiler winding.
Not a trifiler, a bifiler.
Got it. So I was able to move a turtle today. It was funny. What are those big flowers, those big tall flowers that always fall over?
Sunflowers.
No.
How big are they?
Like 4 feet tall, and they just fall over.
I got a lot of them.
They smell really good. I don't know. They fall over all the time. So Maureen says, can you put up 2 posts and then put some mason cord so I can keep these flowers standing up? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So I go over and I get a post and I start, there's a big rock right there. And I thought, well, I'll get on this side of the rock. I start poking it there. And all of a sudden the ground's moving. And I said, what the heck? There must be a mole or something right there in the ground. I'm looking at the ground and I realize it's not a rock. It's a turtle. We had a big snapping turtle buried herself down into the dirt, got underneath the sod, and she, hunkered in. I think she was hot. She wanted to stay cool. So anyway, I kept track of her, and she left and she went down across the yard and across the field. And then she headed to the road, so she was going over to the Toad Harbor Swamp. So I had to pick her up and carry her across. I love turtles. I love snapping turtles. I think they're pretty cool. Well, I guess nobody was impressed with that story.
Hey, Randy, this is K1RMA.
Hey, Don, what's up?
Eat my dang fish. Down here a little bit. Let me tell you about snapping turtles. They have no enemies, and consequently, I personally think you were foolish. Frankly, I think you should have shot the thing.
Evening, Doug.
All they do is eat baby ducks and geese and such, and they live for a tremendously long length of time. This is K1RMA.
And bullheads. They eat my bullheads.
They eat your bullheads? Well, I'll tell you something right now. Snapping turtles are only one generation from being extinct. They are very, very endangered.
Really? I didn't know that. There's a couple in my pond if you want some.
If I had a pond and I had snappers in it, well, as a matter of fact, that did happen to me. I just go down and shoot them.
Oh, I like turtles. I don't want to bother turtles. I'll shoot lots of other stuff. You take care of the turtle population, and I'll take care of the squirrels.
Yeah, well, the painted turtles, what I do is when I see one crossing the road, I stop the car, get out, pick up the painted turtle, and bring him to the other side of the road. But the snapper, no way in heck.
You know, the snapper turtle makes excellent turtle soup.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Did you guys see the video that we did here when Mike was
around the pond? It's pretty cool.
Did you see that video on Facebook when I had the snapping turtle?
Doc was trying to talk, Randy.
I'm sorry, Doc. I doubled with you. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. I didn't have anything important. I was just saying that I got lots of painted turtles in the pond. They're pretty cool. But the snappers, even ain't happy with them.
So I'll repeat what I said because nobody probably heard me over Doc. Did you guys see the video of when Mike was here and I had that big snapping turtle?
Yes.
I didn't.
It's on the Facebook. You got to go onto the Toad Harbor Facebook. It's a riot. I think it's a riot. Mike was like pooping his pants.
Oh, that's the one where he freaked out like a girl.
Yeah. He actually screamed like a girl and everything.
Oh, for a turtle?
A snapping turtle.
Well, you just don't want to get near the end that snaps.
Oh, they'll reach their head all the way back, halfway to their shell. They can reach their neck behind them. Believe it or not, they've got a very, and he snaps a stick in this video. It's just a funny video.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't have on my ponds is any turtles. I got frogs and fish and dragonflies and all kind of other stuff, but I don't have any turtles.
Well, I didn't have. They got here by themselves.
Yeah, none of them. I even got a blue heron that comes and makes fish his breakfast, but don't have any turtles, and none have ever come.
Hey, Don, are you coming? Wait a minute. Did I ask you, Don, are you coming to the summit next weekend?
I won't be able to. Sorry.
Why not?
Thank you very much for asking.
No. Hold on a second. I won't be able to. Sorry, that's not an answer that's accepted here on the world famous Toad Harbor Net. Why the heck not?
I am sure that my wife will have other things for me to do. But I certainly thank you very, very much for asking.
Oh, you got to put your foot down, Don. It's time to take charge, okay? Let me talk to your wife. Give me your number.
Hey, I've only been married for 50 years, you know.
Paul, N2PD, he was saying that his wife kept shutting off his amplifier because they were sharing an outlet with the dryer outlet, and with his amplifier. So he couldn't get his amplifier turned on because she was doing the laundry. Well, I wrote her this real serious email, and let me tell you something. That lady has a great sense of humor because most wives would say, "Who the heck are you? And who do you think you are?" You know, but. I gave her this. I gave her a holy hell about Paul being the bread earner and only wants to use this radio a couple hours a night. I think it'd be, much more in line for you being a woman that you can do it during the daytime. I forget what all the BS I wrote to her, and I thought, oh boy, I'm going to catch all kinds of hell from her now. But she was awesome. She fired right back, and yeah, we had a great back and forth. She was pretty cool.
Oh, that's terrific. Anyway, I certainly wish I could respond in a similar manner. I certainly have the greatest respect for you and your wife. I've heard her on from time to time, and she sounds like a tremendous person. And that having been said, if it was a totally different circumstance, yeah, I'd probably go. But life doesn't lead us down that particular path. But again, thank you very, very much.
Well, it's fine. I mean, I understand. If you can't make it, you can't make it. But if you need my wife to call your wife and straighten her out, I'll be happy to put that. I'll get that ball rolling if you'd like.
Thank you very much for the offer.
Hey, Randy.
Really. Where's the festivities? Basically, where do you intend to hold it?
It's in Kingston, New York, at the Robert Post Park. We've got a pavilion. So far, the weather looks like it's going to be dynamite next weekend. Of course, that's going to change. We'll probably have a monsoon, but it's at the Robert Post Park in Kingston, New York, which happens to be very close to where you are currently.
Will you be mobile on 160 or 80?
Well, I'll be mobile on the way down, probably on 160, because we've got to go down early. I've got a meeting in Saugerties at 9:00. So I'll be on early, so the band will be good, and I'll be traveling down on 160, I'm sure.
Yeah, what time are you going to leave home?
I've got to leave like around 6 in the morning.
Okay, I'll look for you on this frequency.
Oh, that's good. Maybe I will be on as well. But actually, I don't think I've ever worked you mobile. I've heard you on 80. I don't think I've heard you on 40. But I think you were checking into the 3969 group. I believe I heard you then.
Yeah, I move around. I get on. I do get on 40 quite a bit now, but I used to, I get on 60 a lot. I'm on 60 meters a lot, and I get on 80 sometimes, and I'm on 160 quite often. Every morning I'm on 160 until about 6:30 or so. No, about 6 o'clock. If I'm traveling at that time, I'll get on 3849. There's a good group of guys there from Florida to Texas to Colorado, and all through Ohio and like that. So I talked to a bunch of guys there in the morning.
Did you ever talk to these guys in Kentucky? They're on every morning between 4 and 5.
What did you think about Trump and this Mexican deal? I personally think it's awesome.
I think the liberals, the liberal people, the news media, I think they must all be exploding. Their heads have to be exploding, because it worked exactly the way he wanted it to work out. It couldn't have worked out any better.
Absolutely right. I am so happy for the first time in my life, and I follow this closely. The first time in my life, a man is in the office and he's doing what the American people want. And I tell you, I am 110% behind Trump, and right down to the point where as soon as I start hearing anything, whether it's on the radio or the TV, that's anti-Trump, I just simply turn it off. The heck with it.
I agree. He's doing the bidding of the people for sure, and he's doing the right thing for the government. I mean, for the country. Look at how good our economy is doing right now. And there's a lot of videos. I was watching a bunch of videos when he was over in Europe, and all the people were just celebrating like holy heck that they can't believe he's actually there. The news media would have you think that there's riots and people having a problem with Trump being there. There were so many good events going on when he was there, and people were thrilled to see him. It just our news media is so biased, and it's hard to believe it's gotten this bad. And I don't know why it has gotten this bad, but it certainly has. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this thing, I was celebrating when I heard, my wife's calling me. Yeah, my wife's calling me. KB2ZVP.
You go, Randy. This is KA1RMA, standing by.
KA1RMA and 3RMR.
Yeah, this is KA1RMA. I think you said something else, Mark. This is K1RMA.
Where are you? What is your location? Over.
Woodbury, Connecticut. Woodbury, Charlie Tango. Basically just off Route 84. exit 15, as a matter of fact, between Danbury and Waterbury, if you're looking at a map, right at the where the Housatonic River meets Route 84, if that means anything to you. Go ahead.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that the east-west beverage was correct then, because you are much louder on that antenna.
Yeah, okay, fine. Great. I've got the land to go ahead and put up a, I should ever rephrase that, to put down a beverage, and I'm thinking come wintertime I will be doing something like that, or I should say late fall, and I'll also put up. I'm all set with the pulleys in the trees and everything to go ahead and put up a loop for 160, and I'll be able to compare it with the antenna that I've got now. And but I don't want to put up the loop now simply because of lightning. So I figure, hey, I'll keep a low profile. I suppose that would be the best word for it now, as opposed to going through the summer.
Well, the nice thing about the loop with lightning is that being that it's horizontal, it's a it's a smooth, flat object over a large space, so it's not high and pointy, and sharp. So that's usually what builds the potential for the lightning to have to work off of. So loops probably would be less likely to get hit by lightning than a sharp vertical would be.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be putting up a vertical. All the years I've been a ham, verticals have never turned me on, and I just basically have stayed away from them. I've always gone to dipoles or loops.
Yeah, have you got a dipole now?
Yes, that is what I'm running. Inverted V, feed points probably up about 85 feet. Coaxial run probably about 200 feet, and actually I'm going through my antenna tuner, because this antenna is actually really resonant at about 1885. So going through the tuner, I can bring the resonance up a little bit. So that's basically what I've got here. Running, figure about 190, roughly about 175 watts.
Roger. Yeah, we're using a full wave loop here, but it's not that high. I was on with the 3/8 inverted L, 50 feet vertical and 100 or so on the flat top, and I beat both Randy and Ray out in North Carolina over.
Wow. I think I was listening one night when you were doing that testing. I think, your signal is good. So of course that's basically what counts. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually I'm not using a loop. I lied to you. I'm using my 40-meter rhombic. It's an open loop. It's open at the very end. Over.
And what is the size of it?
540 feet. They're four legs. Each of them is one wavelength on 40 over.
Okay. I guess that helps to make it resonant. Anyway, I'm going to bow on out of here, guys. Certainly, thank you very much for letting me in, and for the chat. And so I'm going to bail. And Randy comes back. Let him know that I'm out, please. And again, I certainly enjoy talking with you guys. I generally listen most nights. Interesting subject matters and so forth. So anyway, with that, I'll say 73s, and this is KU1RMA, and I'll be signing out.
Yeah, how close are you to Devin's house, over?
I don't really know. I forgot where he lives.
Just off of 84.
Oh, really? What town is he in?
I forget. I'm going down to meet him on Wednesday, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not too far from 84. in the wintertime, I can hear the trucks, the sound of the trucks come right down the valley. I'm probably road-wise traveling. I'm probably about 8 minutes from the road. But anyway, it really is something how the sound comes down the valley, you know.
Yeah, Devon's 8 miles off of 84, I think south of it.
Ashford.
Okay, I think he's over toward Hartford.
Somebody said Ashford.
Yeah, I think that's over toward Hartford.
Roger. Okay, see you later. K1RMA, W3 Hotel November. Bye.
Okay, thank you very, very much. K1RMA will be clear.
OHN.
Hello.
This is WB2OHN.
WB2OHN, Whiskey 3, Henry Nancy, go.
Okay, Whiskey 3, Henry Nancy. This is WB2OHN. The name is Don Dog Ocean Nancy. We were in here the other night, QRP, and now we're running 100 watts. We're on a different rig. And just wondering how this sounds. We're north of Albany, New York. Go ahead.
No, well, you're just in my backyard. My name is Tim, T-I-M. I'm in Saratoga Springs.
Oh, geez. Oh, say, you got a 3-call up there in Saratoga. Well, that fooled me. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, well, I was originally in Valley Forge. I got it in Valley Forge, but I like the HHN. You can imagine how that is on Charlie Whiskey, Ron, over.
Okay, so how does the rig sound? How's the audio sound? This is an IC706 Mark II. Go ahead.
It sounds very good. You're 20 over 9. I'm running a 40-meter rhombic over.
Yeah, I heard. I wish I had the space for that, but we're looking for a new place. So as soon as we get more land, we're going to have one that's maybe even bigger. Go ahead.
Yeah, where are you located, really?
Okay, well, I'm kind of looking for someone who knows ICOM stuff. In fact, I'm looking for someone who has an IC706. Anybody out there that's listening, give me a call.
Yeah, I have an IC746 Pro feeding into an ACOM 1000, kicking up about 500 whiskey and a 40-meter rhombic over.
Yeah, it sounds really potent. Well, from Saratoga, you're punching into Clifton Park, no problem at all.
Yeah, what's your antenna?
We've got a half-wave dipole. Center's up the center's up 30 feet. One end is up about 45 feet, and the other end's up 15 feet at the end point. Go ahead.
Roger. Okay. You're sounding good. It should get you out quite well, especially in the wintertime when the static is gone.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. You got an ICOM there. When you go in CW mode and press your microphone push to talk, do you have carrier?
Negative.
Okay. I don't either, and I think there's some setting to make that happen. In order to get carrier, I got to go to either AM or RTTY. Go ahead.
Yeah, I go to FM.
Okay, well, maybe it's not doable then. For some reason, I thought you'd be able to do that. I can on my Kenwood. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I can't do key down. I just get dash. It's just, I get dots or dash and my key are over.
Okay, well, probably just the way it is with these things. I've been through the manual several times and fooled around with settings, so... Yeah, we just picked this rig up recently from an estate sale, so it looks like it works okay. So I'll let you go. Great signal down here, WB2OHN clear. Good evening, Tim.
73 Ron, WB2OHN, Whiskey 3 Hotel November. Ciao.
Is it hotel, or is it hotel?
Depends if you're French.
Well, I'm not French, I'm German.
Oh, es tut mir leid, aber ich kann nicht Deutsch sprechen.
Nein.
Du musst auf Englisch sprechen, bitteschön.
Hey, Tim.
Yes.
Give me an audio report. Tell me what sounds better on this radio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Crick Brown Fox jumped over the lazy dog. Number one. Number two. The Crick Brown Fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Ooh, that's a hard one. I like number one. Somebody else want to say?
Well, one's a lot better, but it's not even close to being bright enough.
It's not even close to how Randy's...
Yeah, I know. I need more highs. Working on it. Thank you. N1QWN. Back to the drawing board.
2 was real bad.
I don't even want to sound good. Why would you want to sound good?
Well, does this sound better like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes, I'm going to get on Ray's microphone if you want to hear a lousy signal.
Hey, Randy, you're hearing me, right?
I hear you fine.
Yeah, is this better like this?
Well, versus, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention, but right now I think it sounds pretty good.
All right, we'll leave well enough alone.
You still got a lot of bass. I'm not sure you need more highs, but you need to get rid of some of that bass. It almost gets muffled, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an old 1000 MP, and I'm slowly figuring out the settings. This radio's been sitting on my desk. I use it occasionally just on this band, and yeah, I'm trying to brighten it up or lose some of the bass. I'm working on it.
You only need a good audio if you're going to work DX. To get on this frequency, you can use any kind of crap.
Spoken like a guy that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, you sound like you got a lot of processing going there, Tim.
Yeah, it's my DX. I'm hoping to go to 40 meters and work some good DX in a minute. Some real hams up there.
You know, if you had a real ham radio, you could. You want to hear my 40 meter DX mode?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is my 40 meter DX mode. You want to hear my 10 meter DX mode?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is my 10 meter DX mode.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I know. You want to hear my Rag 2 mode? Hang on. Okay, this is my Rag 2 mode.
They all sound the same to me.
Oh, they are the same. It's you old guys in the old days. You used to think you had to do something special to work DX. It was easier to work. You realize it's easier to work DX than it is to talk somebody 100 miles away.
I know that. Yeah, I'm from the old AM days. We used negative peak clipping and all that kind of good stuff, and overmodulation and really cruddy stuff.
You guys are all crazy.
Good, clean fun. Back to the Bruins, Boston 1. N1QWN, 73s.
The Yanks 1 in 10 today. KB2ZVP.
Yeah, where's Ray? He said he's going to be back.
10-3 or more.
Whiskey 3 Hotel November. Yeah, John,
the aliens
used to give me a heck. I can't think his name when I would say hotel. He died recently. The John guy started electronics business and so forth. You know what I mean, Randy?
WB2B, no, yeah. N2OJY.
N2OJY, yeah, he used to give me static about it.
Yeah, he used to always talk about you like that.
John was a good guy, though. He's helped me out a lot.
Hey, I got an interesting thing now that you mentioned that call.
Go ahead.
I was talking to my neighbor today, and he's a ham, and I forgot what his call was, and he told me his call, and we got talking about people we knew, and it turns out that N2OJY, I guess, was his best friend in Elmer.
Was that Dennis?
No, it's my neighbor Vince. He's Kilo Bravo 2, November Bravo Juliet.
Does he ever get on the air?
No, he doesn't have anything going up here yet. That's what I was bugging him about. I go, he was clearing some trees last weekend, so I said, you getting ready for a tower base or what? So he's pretty busy, so he's kind of taking his time.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the call.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't ring any bells to me either.
Well, no, it probably wouldn't. But anyway, he had mentioned that he was good friends with N2LJY and was, really upset when he passed.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been friends with, I was friends with John and Wendy for a long time. Then he went that wicked divorce he went through, and he got raked over to coals and stuff. And I still talk to Dennis Hudson quite a bit, and we were all kind of pals. But I don't know who this Vince is. I'm just kind of curious because we were always hanging out together. You know?
Oh, I don't know. Well, next time I'm talking to him, I'll see if I can get some more info.
Yeah, what's Dennis Hudson's call, Randy?
W2LBT, I don't know, N2LBT, is that it?
Yeah, it's an N call, N2LBT, I think that's right. I used to talk to him all the time, and also his dad over.
Yeah, he's up in wherever, Fork Lake or something. We stayed with him when we were on we went on a camping trip. We came back down through and had dinner with him and his girlfriend, and he was working in Syracuse recently, and I'm not sure if he's still working in Syracuse or not, but we keep in contact via Facebook. I mean, that's how you do it nowadays. He doesn't have an HF station set up.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him a long, long time. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. See you guys later, W3HHNQRT. Goodbye.
Yeah, good to see you, Tim.
See you.
Is Mark still here? Mark, where are you still here?
I am. I'm remote, watering the garden. What do you need?
What's your email? How do I get? Do I have your email? Do we email, or don't you have an email?
No, I don't have an email. Just text me or phone me.
I want to send you some pictures of the sun. I can't do it that way.
Yeah, you can send it as a little file, and it'll download on the text.
I'll see if I can figure it out.
100 watts from the Kenwood, N3 Armor.
KB2ZVP. WG2E.
We desperately need it down here. W2KRY.
Hey, Carl, did you get my email yesterday? I don't think you did, because it came back to me and said it could deliver to carlw@nycap.rr.com. It's supposed to be .com, isn't it?
.rr.com.
Yeah, that's why. So I have to make a correction on mine.
Yeah, I went up there and looked on my email computer, and I didn't see anything there, so I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, I just realized when I read it out loud that it doesn't have the .com.
Yeah, that's the important part. Maybe I'll have to get one of those ones at my call at ARRL.net. And hello, good Randy. How's things?
Good. How about you, Carl?
Not bad. Was a nice day today. Got a few things done. Picked a log up out of the backyard, coiled that up, and it's hanging in my shed.
Yeah, I'm not going to put one down.
But the bog is still in existence, and I like that.
You'll have to come up and show me how you do it.
It's highly technical, only known by a few.
I know. That's why I'm going to take you out and buy you lunch and get you drunk.
Well, you can buy me lunch. Nobody's got me drunk now. Let's see. I guess like 30 years.
Okay. It'll be our secret then.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, you can always start again. Well, I saw something there. I don't know if it was you or not. Ice cream and something else.
That was me and Tootie agree on a couple things, and Jägermeister in the freezer is one of them.
Oh, okay. I thought you were mixing it with ice cream or something.
That would probably work really well.
I'd use vanilla and root beer.
There you go.
That was our treat when we were kids. When I was down in Pennsylvania, my grandfather would bring back a 6-pack of Dad's root beer and a half a gallon of vanilla ice cream, and we'd have root beer floats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my mom would do that on Saturday nights. My dad would go work at the racetrack. He was a pit steward at the Fonda Speedway, and she would it'd be shower time, you know, and sit on the couch, watch a little whatever we were watching on a Saturday night. It wasn't Wild Kingdom, that was on a Sunday. We would take our showers, get cleaned up, and then we'd come out, and she'd have our root beer floats waiting for us. That was pretty awesome.
Straw or spoon?
Oh, straw. And then we had those curly straws. Try to suck a vanilla ice cream through a curly straw.
Yeah, you remember Ted's Fish Fry?
I know of it. It's in my memory. I've never been.
Okay, well, they originally were in Watervliet. Now they got places in Latham and various whatever. And I always remember their milkshakes was so thick, and you had to suck it through the straws. Your heads would almost collapse.
It's like a Frosty from Wendy's. I haven't had one of those in a lot of years either.
All right, I'm back. Took me a little longer. How are you guys doing? And is Ray still wrangling his pork chops?
Who's the weak one?
20 over. The band's gotten better now. Everybody's gotten way stronger.
Band's gotten stronger, but the noise is still there.
Yeah, S9 solid. I'll tell you what, I busted my hump on that concrete this morning, Carl.
Okay, how many yards did you do?
Oh, no, not yards. We're talking bags here. No, I'll tell you something. The Home Depot, or not Home Depot, the Harbor Freight mixer, you know, it performed. I'll say that. It saved some work. I'll say that too. But it's well, you get what you pay for. You buy a mixer for $200. Well, you get a $200 mixer.
Is this like a full size kind of regular one that you would normally see about?
Well, it's not as big as the ones that I would normally have used, and it's an electric motor.
Yeah, well, you know, I've always found their stuff to be fairly acceptable if you're not trying to use it like in an industrial application. You know, if you're nice to them, then you can usually make them last.
Yeah, I was careful with it. I put 2 bags in the first and then turned it on, and it was not going to work. So then I got that out of it, and then I did one at a time. And the only thing I was disappointed with is I'll change it myself. I'm just going to change the motor that's on it because it won't do it. I can't maintain a 4-inch slump with it. It had to be looser than that in order to spin it freely, you know. So if it had a bit more motor, it would have been able to I could have done it at a 4-inch slump instead of, 6 or 8, you know.
And what exactly does that mean?
The consistency of the material. The slump is how far it falls from a 12-inch cone, and the wetter you make it, the weaker the concrete is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have you got your phone handy?
It's upstairs.
I just sent you a picture of the machine.
Okay, yeah, I'll run up there and check it out. I'll be right back.
Is it a gasoline motor or electric one, Randy?
Gasoline powers engines, and motors are powered by electricity.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I always like to try to throw that out there when I could, but no, it's a little motor, very little electric motor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I see Randy's agree on another thing.
What's that?
Motors and engines.
Right. Well, yeah, that's everybody uses motor back and forth, but sometimes when I feel like a wise ass, I want to just, put that out there.
Well, when you want to be right, you don't have to be a wise ass. It's bullshit to call something under the hood a motor. It clearly is not.
Maureen's got a motor under her hood.
Next question.
It is. It's an electric motor. Nowadays, you never know. I think more and more cars will be powered by motors than engines before, in our lifetime.
WA3FPN.
There's good, Mike.
Nice looking job.
Did you see? I didn't send you the picture of the pipes, but it's that little bugger there was working its tail off. That's a whole pallet of concrete right there.
Well, and you got to do that 3 more times?
At least 1 more. No, not 3 more, because that big barn in the background, one of the corners of the loop goes to that, and I'm going to go up on that roof and put a tall pole off that roof.
Okay, well, we can expect when we come up for the Stewart Electric get-together.
Yeah, just don't come too soon, because this project's going to take some time.
Well, I don't know. Okay, well, Bad Mike said something yesterday that we should do a breakfast or something.
You can come up tomorrow. I don't care. There's just not going to be that much to inspect. I'd rather when I get at least the corner stood up on the experimental post stood up. Once that's standing, then you should come over and check it out.
Okay, well, that'll probably be like when I went to Ray's. I didn't even have 1 foot out of my car, and he had a rope in my hand. Here, hold this.
That'll never happen here, because I don't work very well with other. Ask Bad Mike, but it's like trying to work with Randy. I threw him out. Said, no, go talk to Maureen. So you're not helping me. Get out of here.
Does not work well with others. WG2E.
I work really well with my son and pretty well with Maureen, although this morning she got snapped at when she come out with a coffee, with the 2 cups of coffee, and I had other things in my head.
W2KRY.
KB2ZVP. Well, we're a little early, 58. That's close.
AA2EXP. I got 42 past.
Well, you've got to reset your clock.
It's an atomic clock, but it's in the basement, so I don't know how it finds out.
It's on yesterday's time.
Wow, look at all those lightning rods in your backyard.
That's all Canadian steel. I had to make sure I had brand new steel, and they didn't have any American-made steel, so they had Chinese steel, and then that's not acceptable.
What are you talking about?
The upright.
You play football?
You know, when I worked at the steel mill, I was running a forklift one week, and I had to unload some steel from Albany Steel or someplace. And I was unloading these things, and one of the bosses come over, and it saw China or Korea or something on one of the I-beams. And he made me put the whole load back on, and he refused to take it. So the next day I had to unload some more, and here was that same I-beam, and they had just took a grinder and ground Korea off it.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the day, you know, it was you had to be all a USA stuff there.
It should be. That's what I would prefer. I mean, there's a huge difference between, and especially with a structure like this that I'm going to stress things. I certainly don't want Chinese steel.
Yeah, well, I understand. And hello, Steve. How was things on AM? He was there. I swear I heard the X-ray beam.
Yeah, he was there. They brought that steel over. All I had to do was wipe it off. It's all brand new. That's going to take the paint perfectly.
What color is it going to be?
It's brown. It's same as what John uses for his tower, his dish. It's brown. It's a Rust-Oleum oil-based paint, and it looks. I mean, it's just great for longevity. No rust through. You know, it doesn't flake off. And if you have to grind it and re-weld it, you can just touch it back up, and it just blends right back in. It's not shiny, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Rust-Oleum has always served me very well. You know, one kind of paint that I found was really good is I got it at Tractor Supply, and I forget what the brand name was, but it was called Implement Enamel, and it was in all the colors of Kubota and John Deere and all those. So I bought the Massey Ferguson Gray, and I spray painted my tower there, my Easy Way, and it's been up since 1994, and that just has held up great.
I use that paint all the time on my Kubota and my implements when I fix them up and clean them up, or when I build a new implement. That's what I use.
Yeah, I found it works really good. I just thin it out and put it in the spray can. As a matter of fact, though, or in the paint sprayer, the pictures I sent you of me putting that little tower up on the side of my house, that was all spray painted with that.
Cool. This stuff I did today was all done with a brush. I think I sent you some pictures just now of the pipes and stuff.
Yeah, you did. That's what I said. Nice lightning rods.
Well, you can see the color.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. I didn't zoom in there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I get you. Now, how are you doing the telescope? Are they going to be able to come apart, or you're welding them together?
I'll weld them together. I was thinking about so I was thinking about that, if I would pin them or not. But that just makes things a little bit looser, and I like to weld anyway, so I'll weld them. But are you clear-witted right now, clear thought right now? I can explain it to you, and you'll understand what I'm going to tell you.
My brain is clear.
So I'm starting out with a 21-foot 3-inch piece, right? And the next piece is going to be 2 inches. Okay, so it's so that means it's going to be really a loose fit into a 3-inch piece. But I don't need a 2.5-inch piece. And what if I went with a 2.5-inch piece? That would add a considerable amount of weight that I don't need to. So I've got a 2.5-inch piece that I bought, and I'm going to build a sleeve, and that goes in the top of the 3-inch piece, and then the 2-inch piece will slide inside of that. Okay, and that'll all be welded, and then the other 2.5-inch, the remnant will be put up inside of the 3-inch piece. At the pivot point, it'll be welded inside of the pipe there. So it'll be double walled at the pivot point, which is going to be 2 pillow block bearings and 1.5 inch bar. Okay, about 5 feet high, and then it goes from 3-inch to 2-inch to 1.5 inches, and then like 1.25 inch piece inside of that, like 5 feet at the very top. So it should be right around 65 or 70 feet when it tilts up.
Sounds like you got it all scienced out.
They all fit nicely. You know, it should be a pretty. I don't know why it wouldn't work. I mean, I think it's going to work just fine.
It's never going to work. The Kennedy curse.
It's going to work.
You're going to get it already? Does it have the N1 DVL approval?
No, he keeps telling me it's not going to work. That's why Randy's saying that.
Okay, well, that's all the more reason to go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. See, I did a 2 and 1.5 inch pipe together for my hex beam, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to tilt that thing up with the hex beam on, because you can't climb the pipe. So of course you got to have the rotor and the antenna. So I did this. I built, and it was tipped at 30 inches too. So it was pretty low to the ground where I tipped it, and I wanted to test it. So what I did was I had the steel delivered to Cranesville Block up in Rochester, the plant that I was running up there, and I slipped the 2-inch over the fork of the fork truck, and then I slid the other piece inside of that, 1 foot inside overlap, and then I had my son run the fork truck, and I said, "No, pick me up," and he lifted me right off the ground. So I was pretty confident it would pick up a 20-pound hex beam and a 2-pound rotor, which it did. It did fine. It worked out really well.
Okay, well, and then what about when it's got the loop pulling on it? Is it going to bow it, or are you going to put some kind of a backstay on?
It's going to have 3 rings on the 2-inch part of the pipe. Up above, at the top of the 2-inch pipe, will have 3 rings with Dacron already affixed to it. So once it's up, if it seems like it's a little bit looser than I want it to be, why then I can address it. I'll already have the ropes up. They won't be tied up. It'll be up and back. You know what I mean? Up and down. So if it seems like it's loose, I'll be able to address it. And if it's just fine, I can just pull the Dacron right out of the loops, and I won't have to worry about out of the rings, and I won't have to worry about it.
Sounds like a plan.
W2MUR.
Hello, Mike.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, Mike, you know what I had in my hands today?
What'd you have in your hands?
Big Mama.
You had Big Mama in your hands?
She was back.
Really? She's laying eggs again?
You got to see this thing. So, what are these flowers? Iris. There's iris flowers, and they always fall over. So Maureen says to me, "Dear husband, wonderful husband, sexy husband, would you mind putting a post over there by the iris, at the end of each of the iris, and then run some mason cord so it'll help to hold up the iris, or, well, it will hold up the iris." I said, "Of course I will do that for you, my dear." So I go over and I get a stick, and there's a big rock on the ground right there at the iris, and I thought, I don't remember seeing this rock, but okay, it's a rock. And I start poking the stick in the ground, and all of a sudden the ground starts moving. And I'm like, what the hell is that? There must be a mole in there. And I look again, and I realize the rock's not a rock, it's a turtle. And this turtle dug into the soil, through the grass. He's under the grass, this big turtle. And I'm poking the stick down through him, So I stopped, of course, and And then we had to rescue the turtle. We just left the turtle there. And then she made a dash down. She made a dash. Get it? She made a dash down to the through the field, out into the field where the other turtle did last time you were here, and you screamed like a little girl. And did I say that? I didn't mean to. So anyway, she made a dash, and I had to carry her across the street again.
Oh, that's what that picture is. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was a rock.
Yeah, so did I. That turtle that she buried underneath. Carl, that picture that you're seeing there is not fully her. Part of her is under the grass.
How big's the turtle?
Oh, she's at least a foot across the shell.
You know, it's just like like the sea turtles. They come up the same place every year and lay their eggs. These turtles do the same, I guess.
She didn't lay any eggs in there. I thought for sure that I was going to have eggs to incubate, and raise, but no eggs in there at all. I checked very carefully.
Turtle egg omelets.
Oh, come on.
That's disgusting.
Turtle harbor net.
We're higher on the food chain.
So you get all your cement poured?
Yep, the concrete had been poured. I worked my tail off today, Mike. I mean, the poles are so stinking heavy, and I had to paint all the poles, and I got the concrete all poured, and yeah, everything is all good in the Toad Harbor hood.
Oh man, I hope you didn't hurt yourself. I know, I just know how hard it was just to take a 30-foot piece of PVC and put it up by myself. I can't imagine doing any of that. I hope you had some help, but and then you painted all that stuff too?
Mike, these guys, somebody was saying something about helping, and I said, wait a minute. I said, ask Mike what it's like to work with me. I don't accept help.
Yeah, well, a man's got to know his limitations.
Hey, when I need help, I just call Mo Guns, and she comes over and gives me a hand.
Well, that's good, man. You got a great day's work.
This little mixer that I bought, holy crap, this thing is so light duty.
You got your money's worth out of that. All you need is one who's just to use it once.
Well, I've got to do another pour, so I'll have to use it again. But it worked. It performed. It did the job. It saved me from hoeing. I didn't have to get the wheelbarrow out and hoe a bunch of 40 bags of concrete mix.
What's wrong with hoeing?
That's the way I would do it.
That's the way I've always, I wouldn't say that. I probably did it like once or twice like that, but most of the time I just call and have the truck deliver it. But this is, way too small to have a truck deliver. It's a yard. It's 40 bags, 40 times 80. What's that? 460, 360, 3,600 pounds. So it's a yard,
Yeah. Just lift out those bags all day long is ridiculous. That auger looks awesome, man. I would love to have something like that.
What do you mean all day? I started at 7 o'clock and I was done by 8:30.
Still, man, and just, what are they for? They're 40-pound bags of cement times how many?
40-pound bags? Where do you go to? Where do you shop at Home Depot? These are 80-pound bags, son.
Yeah, well, okay, so how many of those?
40 bags.
Oh, boy. Well, I pulled down 75,000 lights today. Me and the team did a great job. We got it done in less than 4 hours, if you can imagine that.
How many lights?
75,000 commercial-grade LEDs. I don't know how many. It was almost 1,000 25-foot rolls. That's 25,000 feet.
And you got to put them back up in what, November?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
That's like 5 miles of lights.
I can't believe how many people came up and down that walkway and said they were so sad that they were going down.
Yeah, we
got a job for you.
Yeah, Maureen says, Mike, we got a job for you.
I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm able.
Yeah, we have one string in the kitchen. She keeps up. She has one. I don't know where she gets this from, but she has one string in the kitchen, and she changes it for the holiday seasons. For the seasons, or not? For the holidays. St. Patrick's Day, there's a green one out there, and she has all these one string things. And when it's Christmas time, she'll have the Christmas color lights. When it's Thanksgiving, what do you do with Thanksgiving? Green. Orange and yellow, and orange and brown or black or something like that for Halloween, or orange and purple for Halloween.
Okay, so she's putting up different strings with different colors?
Yeah, we don't have these fancy LEDs that you can just switch the colors. Come on.
I've got a whole set that you guys can have.
Well, bring them with you to the summit.
You're using those Jedi mind tricks.
It's going to suck that you're not there. You know that. I'm going to hate you forever now for not going.
I know, man. Carl, I'm going to have to dig myself out. It's going to take me a year to get back. But I really feel that I can't be there. If anything changes, I'll let you know.
I'll tell you what, you're not going to get a 2019 Toad Harbor T-shirt no matter how much you cry and beg.
I know.
Hey, Randy, guess what I'm wearing?
That one out. And I can't black printing anymore.
Maury says yes, he's
right
getting
now.
a T-shirt.
The official T-shirt.
Somebody said T-shirt.
I'm wearing the official T-shirt.
Are you? I was wearing mine when I was pouring the concrete today, and I was drinking out of my official Toad Harbor, my Toad Harbor my Toad Harbor coffee cup.
And a big toad hat.
I had my big Amish hat on. I was drinking my out of my Toad Harbor net coffee cup, wearing my one of my Toad Harbor T-shirts, covering it with concrete.
Okay, so you have an authentic Amish hat?
Yeah, it's right from the Amish.
Wow, were you chewing on some grass?
I did chew some grass today. Yes, I did. I swear to God.
Oh man, you gotta get rid of all your electricity and run your radios on batteries.
What about your suspenders?
I know. I keep asking Maureen, am I old enough to wear suspenders yet? She goes, no, honey, not this year. Maybe next year.
Well, suspenders, I used to wear them when I was very young at my career at Cardone Industries. We used to go and, everybody dressed up in a tie and had suspenders, and it was a big thing. It's going to come back.
Well, I'm going to send you some pictures.
J1 DSK.
Has anybody heard Devin in here in a while?
Hello, Randy. How you doing? J1 DSK. You just say my name, I'm here.
What are you running for a rig tonight?
The TDX 3000.
Okay, it's definitely different.
Yeah, about 800 watts on a SP linear, expert linear.
Roger.
So Devin's going to run me a computer model. I was actually looking, there's not a lot of information on the folded dipole. The folded dipole has about 1.5 more dB gain from what I read than a regular dipole does. So that makes it, so that's basically adding another 1.5 dB. But I've been interested to see what that model would look like. But it's just, and I did read that it's double the current because it's really two dipoles. It's like a full loop, and it seems like it would be a kind of a fun antenna to try out.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Folded, and I'll also compare with the regular dipole in the same height. Folded dipole, that's half-wave dipole folded over itself, right?
Yeah, overall length would be half-wave. It would be 240 feet, and then folded back, it'd be 120 feet aside. And then I'd feed it with my 2-inch open line that I have now, which is 42 feet in length. But the spacing of the actual folded dipole will be 4-inch because it'd be easier to make with the 4-inch spacers.
Wait a minute. You said 240 feet each side?
No, 240 feet overall length, which is halfway 160, and then when it'll fold under, the folded part will be 120 foot per leg underneath, and then it will feed into the 2-inch open line feed. but the actual antenna will be 4-inch spaced.
Wait.
You're confusing me. You say 240 feet overall length. When it's full set, you say 120 feet each leg. What does that mean? That's 240, so that's not folded.
Right. Mike, you got to relook at that, because if it was folded, a 240 folded would be 60 foot each leg.
No. It's a dipole, right? So it's 120. There's two parts. The folded dipole is a circle. Is kind of like a long loop. So if you kind of look at it from the feed line going up, and then the left side of the connection is going to go 120 feet, and it's going to make a little tiny circle at the end, 4 inches wide, and then it's going to go all the way to the top of the whole length, 240 feet, like my dipole is today, and then it's going to circle down 4 inches, connected, and then come back 120 feet. And the other side of that will be connected to my open line.
And that's a one wavelength, not a half wavelength.
No, it's a folded dipole.
I get what you're saying. It's a wavelength of wire, though. It's 240. If you're going to go 120 each side, that's 480 feet of wire.
Right. That's what I said. The folded dipole is actually a full loop. It's really two dipoles in parallel, but they, but the author was saying it's just like a full loop, which of course it is. When you feed it with open line, some people try to feed it with balun and coax, but either way, it's like a full loop. But it's not. Actually, it's a little shorter than a full loop. It's only 240 feet, 340, 440 plus 40, 480 feet.
Are you getting it now, Devin?
Yeah, I got it now, because he was confusing me. He kept saying halfway dipole, but when it's folded, it becomes full wave. And how far apart are the two, what you fold? 4 inches or 8 inches or more?
No, only 4 inches. I'm going to use the top part of the antenna, the folded dipole portion of it will be 4-inch spaced, because the 4-inch spacers are already made. You don't have to cut them down. But I will feed it with 2-inch open line that I currently have, which is 42 feet in length.
And what's the height you want?
30 feet.
30 feet. I don't think it's going to make any difference, because everything is going to go up.
Well, no, it's double the current. It's really still before local consumption, and it's not going to give me any lower angles or anything like that. It's just going to increase my gain by a dB and a half.
All right, you'll have it tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, you could actually make it, I would say 30 feet average. It's actually 35 feet. You could do 35 feet.
I mean, you can't do it right now for him?
No, don't
it's going
do
to
that.
take about half an hour, to make the model. That's takes time, probably half an hour to 45 minutes. I don't want to do it. I can do it, but I don't want to do it.
No, don't worry about it. 10 o'clock. Oh, my gosh. No, you don't have to do it now. Tomorrow's fine.
Yeah, I just got back about a couple of hours ago. We were at my in-laws. He had his surgery this weekend. Something called Watchman they placed in his heart. He was having AFib, and this amazing thing, they put stuff something in the heart to make it smaller, and he's walking. He's all set now. No AFib, and feels pretty good. Very serious surgery, but they do miracles. Thank you.
Wow, did he do? I'm sorry, I think I missed some of that. He had AFib, right? And then did they do cardioablation?
What they do is just like angiogram. They go to your femoral artery. They put a catheter inside the atrium. They put a small balloon type thing, more like an umbrella type thing, that grabs onto the walls and reduces the size of the atrium. So then it's likely generally enlargement of atrium, so they reduce it to the normal size. And it takes about 3 hours to do that. So it's more like angiogram. Go ahead.
Wow, I've never heard of that procedure for AFib. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a brand new technique. They approved about 2-3 years ago. Only few places do it. They were at Yale New Haven Hospital.
I take like a chemical ablation, which is works perfectly for me. In my heart, you could set the clock by at 60 beats a minute.
And do you monitor it regularly?
Say again?
Do you monitor your heartbeats regularly?
Yeah, it works perfectly. My heart's perfect. Structurally, my heart's perfect. It's just electrically, it was kind of messed up, probably because of ham radio.
Oh, yeah, and then you had to be an electrician on top of that, right?
Yeah. So if I didn't take my medicine, it'd be very erratic and kind of go up and down and just be crazy. It wouldn't be good. I think it was probably all that mobile use. I got too close to the high-Q antenna.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. You know, you start measuring these signals, the power, the magnetic field, the electric field. It's amazing how much you are exposed to these things.
No, I'm just teasing. I actually had it back in 2012, but it's all better now.
Well, that's what counts. Good. Knock on wood. I hope it stays like that.
Mike, did you see my Amish hat?
No, wait. That's just wrong. That's hysterical.
What are you talking about? That's my hat I wear when I mow the lawn and stuff. I got to keep the sun off my bald head.
Oh my gosh! Well, where's your, God, you get your tire down here. It's not right. You got to have your blue shirt on. You need blue pants.
Oh, I don't wear blue when it's out in the sun like that. It's too hot.
That's why I said I can't believe you were wearing your Toad Harbor T-shirt before you ever took it off.
Well, I had the Toad Harbor T-shirt on when I was pouring the concrete, and then I got all done with that. Then I took a shower because I was just heated up, and then I changed, and then I got working on the pipes and got the pipes all painted and up on the. I had to build the sawhorses, get the pipes up on the sawhorses, and then paint the pipe, and then I took another shower, and that's when when I was painting. I was wearing a white T-shirt, just because the sun was up higher and it was pretty intense.
Oh my! You see, you hand painted those poles are amazing, and then you hand painted all that. You got some serious productivity done today.
Oh yeah, weed whacked, got that all done. Did a bunch of honeydews for Maureen, of course, and yeah, I was busy. I was outside since 6:30, and got in just a little while ago.
Now, see that tree right behind you? We could wrap that up 13 feet and just hit some of the big branches up above it. It look gorgeous.
That great big tree behind me?
Yes.
That's a big tree.
That's about, our biggest willow was about that size.
Yeah, that's a tulip. Tulip tree, and that's a big bugger right there.
So I met, I don't know if you guys have to help me out, an arborist, is that the tree specialist, an arborist?
Yeah, arborist.
So I met this guy from Bartlett on Friday. I was preparing, picking up extension cords and catalog and everything, and getting prep work. But so I met this arborist from Bartlett, and he's in charge of this whole region. I learned so much from that guy. Just talked to him for almost an hour. And he would have kept talking, man. He was just a fountain of information. I learned so much about trees in that 1 hour than I've learned in my whole lifetime.
Isn't it cool when you get to talk to an expert in a certain field, whatever the field is? You can just like a sponge. You can just pick up so much information so quick.
I mean, honestly, this guy covers Colgate, Syracuse area. He covers Hamilton College and Clinton. People know this guy, and he's not even one of the owners. He's just a representative, but he's yeah, you're right. I mean, I wish I had time. I would have spent more time with him, but he wanted to take my card, and he's got some high-dollar customers that want lighting, and so he's going to pass that on, and that's interesting.
Hey, Randy?
Yes, sir.
Two things. When I came on the radio, you asked me what rig I'm using. Was it the audio or was it the Spectrum?
The audio.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different microphone and different rig. Second question. You still bringing your grill this next Saturday?
Yes, we are.
How many grills are going to be there?
Carl's going to bring a charcoal grill. I'm not bringing that great big grill. We've got a new grill. It's a smaller grill, be easier to transport. So I'm going to have that, and we'll have and I'll bring a couple of bags of charcoal for the big grill if we got to fire that thing up, the one that's there. But Carl is bringing a smaller charcoal grill too.
Oh, so you're bringing a charcoal grill?
Yeah, Carl's bringing a charcoal. I'm bringing a gas.
Oh, you're bringing gas. Okay. I'm just wondering whether I can cook some really spicy chicken for you guys fresh right off the grill.
Well, everybody has been talking. Devin, I got to, and I'm not BSing you at all. I've had a lot of people have talked about. Geez, I hope Devin's bringing some of that spicy chicken.
Well, it'll be good if I cook it there, because last time it was cooked at home, it was sort of warm, but nothing like fresh off the grill. So that's the plan. I'll marinate it here overnight and bring it there, and we'll cook it there.
Yeah, we'll have grill there. We'll have a couple of grills. If I have to pick up a grill, I can do that too. A smaller grill, like they're very inexpensive.
Okay, good. Yeah. So let's see. I have to dig up the information, the direction from last year. If not, I may call you back to give me the address of the park.
It's the Robert Post Park. You can look it up on the internet or call me, and I can look it up on the internet and tell you what it is. It'll be the same as last year. Same place, same pavilion, same everything.
Okay, Robert Post Park. Okay, I'll get it. I'll look for it.
And you guys are staying, right? You got a room? Oh, that's right. You got a room, yeah.
I've got a room. We'll stay overnight. We'll have breakfast in the morning with everybody and then leave after breakfast. Because next day is Father's Day. So we got to drive to New Haven.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because an hour and a half from there is where my son lives and my stepson, and my daughter. So we're gonna, I'll be able to leave there and go up and see my kids, and then we can drive on home from there. So that'll be kind of fun. There's going to be a lot of people staying at the hotel, a lot more this year than last year, which is really, really cool. So we're going to have a good time. But Devin, do you know who's not going to be there?
These guys just making excuses. They are fake Toad Harbor members.
Radio.
They call themselves, they are on 1930. They just show up when there's an opportunity. We should kick those guys off the net.
Yeah, I mean, Mike has decided that we're not as important as other people in his family, I guess. I thought we were kind of family here, but Mike says no.
And the noise levels are very, very high tonight.
Celebration for Sunday, Father's Day.
Hello, radio
we all do that?
Testing. Can you hear me okay?
Go ahead. Devin, I lost what you said. Would you repeat that, please?
Oh, we doubled. Would you tell those people who are not showing up that we all celebrate the same thing on Sunday, like Father's Day, and we are going to be with our families, but we will be there for Toad Harbor because that's important.
I do consider you guys very important. Very, very important
enough.
And like family.
Just not important enough.
Well, it's hard to compete with my little granddaughter. It's hard.
Well, bring her along.
That would she would love it.
But she would think that you were the coolest grandfather ever.
She's too young to think that. And then when she grows up a little bit, she realizes I won't be.
She'll think, who are those creepy people that Grandpa used to bring me around?
No, man, she'll probably have her license when she gets older.
They had toads on her heads and stuff.
I had my little nephew Parker, who's up the road, and Stella. I had them in the shack last Memorial Day, and they were talking and different people and stuff. He always remembers that, and so now he wants me to build him a robot. He keeps bothering me. He every time he sees me, he says, "Well, have you got those parts yet? Those circuits? So we got to build this robot."
Isn't that cool? That's cool though when somebody thinks that much of you that you can be smart enough to to build a robot. You should get one of those kits. You know what? Why don't you just go buy a robot kit? There are kits out there for robots, and you can just take the kit and build the robot, but have him help you.
Oh, that's a great idea. You know, that's probably that would be a nice Christmas gift and a Christmas project to do. Great idea. I mean, you can get those little robots for, less than $100.
Lego kits. Yeah, well, you don't want a Lego kit though, but he wants the blinking lights and all that, and get the kit, and that you can program to do different things, and like you said, here's a box of here's the robot, but the thing is, we've got to build it and have him come over, and once a week you work on it for a while.
That's a great idea. See, that's the value of the Toad Harbor Network.
Stuart sells all kinds of kits over there. He has all kinds of kits, and I love building those things. I build the alarm for the system for our company, and I also built the counter. It's just a simple switch, but it's a kit. It took me a few hours to solder this up all together, and you get a board and a bunch of resistors and transistors and like this, and you got to put it all together. Then you got to mount it into a box, get an LCD readout, and do all that stuff. I just love doing that stuff, and I'm sure your nephew Parker would love to do that.
Oh, my gosh, that would be fantastic. I built kits all the time when I was a kid. I just, the time factor for me, I had to make a commitment and then have to break a promise, But I built, I've told you, 26-inch, all the Heathkit stuff. My dad had the VA bill. He spent it all on me and got me into electronics. Thank God for him. But I did the first 26-inch color TV that Heathkit made, all solid state. SB104, was the first solid-state transceiver that they did. Was it SB104A or I can't remember, 401A? I can't remember now. Worked beautifully. For the life of me, though, I can't remember what I did with that. I mean, who I sold it to, where it went. I built like voltmeters and breadboards and oscilloscopes. It was amazing.
Well, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but if you make a kid a promise to build a kit, and we're going to work on this day, and sometimes you have to work instead of working on a kit, that just shows the kid that's important, how important work is. And I think that's even if you didn't have to blow off the schedule once in a while, you should still blow it off and say to him, look, I got to work right now. This is very important. And you teach the kid that working is a very important thing to do. It's just, can't do it today. Uncle Mike's got to work.
Very true. I think my kids learned that, growing up, and boy, did I work. But I always made time for them. Help baseball and all the other things. We had a great time together. Hey, so where does Doc live again?
Down by Ithaca.
Ithaca, that's right. Okay. I got to get down and see him. Maybe I'll go down Saturday and see him.
You're a complete idiot.
I'm sorry.
That's it. You're off the net now. Devin, you're right. He's off the net.
He keeps proving himself.
Oh, Devin, I need help. Devin's got my back.
No, he don't. You're like the post hole digger on the back of my tractor. You're screwing yourself.
Randy.
Yeah.
Do you have a rough count for how many people coming up for the picnic and how many staying?
I don't, Devin. I'm not sure, but I think we filled all 10 rooms. I mean, we've got quite a few people coming.
Yeah, I talked to several people. You remember Tim? Let's see, KD2 IQN. He's coming too.
Oh, good. He's the honey guy. He's the guy that I was just in the cupboard yesterday looking at the honey jar, thinking, wow, we're getting low on honey.
Yeah, last week I was on neck later, about 10:30 or so. He showed up and he said, I'll be coming. So.
I don't know, 20, 30 people probably. There'll be quite a few people. Anybody that wants to go can go, so make sure you let people know that. But Bad Mike's not going, Devin, just so you know.
I'm heartbroken.
I am too. I look at the pictures from the last get-together, and I look at Mike in those pictures. I thought, boy, this guy's an idiot. He's such a jerk, this guy. But I'm gonna miss him.
Sometimes you think you have some good friends, but this world is a very cruel world.
I'm thinking if I would have just built that antenna mount for him, he would have shown up.
Well, I'm glad somebody misses me. I'm glad somebody in the world loves me, because there's one person, maybe Maureen, maybe she might too, but, it's good to know.
What makes you think my wife loves you, Mike?
Well, I'm saying it in a platonic way.
Maureen, I got to have a talk with you, honey.
Love you, Mike.
Love you, Maureen. It's so funny.
Devin, now your wife, has she been performing at all? When's the last time she's done her opera?
Well, the opera was done in February, and then a couple of weeks ago she was in New York at Carnegie Hall with a group, but nothing for next few weeks, so we got a break here.
Wow, Carnegie Hall, that's fantastic.
Yeah, this was the second time she was singing there with the group. Last year she sang with a group that sang in Chinese opera.
You're kidding.
Yeah, this year that the opera was Russian. So, gosh, and one time she sang in Polish. Gosh, I just give up singing just because I have to learn those languages.
Well, she learns those songs in those languages. She's got to learn a little bit of those languages.
Well, she's multilingual because she speaks German very fluently. She grew up in Germany when she was from 9 to 22. Her parents lived there because they were singing in Europe. So she went to school there, international school, but she speaks very fluent German, and then she picks up languages very quickly.
That's quite amazing. W2MUR in the 20.
Kilowatt Bravo 2 Zulu. How about that 20? What time zone are you in?
Whiskey Alpha 2 easy short.
Okay, what
Doc. WG2E.
It's 9:40, Mike.
I just said I'm the 20.
Hiya, Mike.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Oh, I'm better than the average, better boo-boo. How are you?
I'm doing better than I deserve.
Hello, Doc. Good evening. K1DSK, Devin.
Hi, Devin.
How you doing? You're sounding pretty good with your amplifier.
Yeah, this baby works real nice. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's good. So we can really hear you now.
So Doc, we got to get together. And I was teasing. Are you going to the summit?
No, unfortunately, I can't leave home.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I've got to get down, and maybe in 2 or 3 weeks we'll get down and have a breakfast, or maybe we'll get everybody to head over your way for breakfast or something,
Well, I sure would like to meet y'all. I got a nice little campsite out back there.
Nice.
I live in the middle of the sticks. Ask Randy.
Mike, no chance of finding you.
Holland Patton's not a big metropolis, that's for sure.
Mike, you got no chance of finding him.
Oh, really? Well, GPS is my only hope.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. It was an interesting trek out to Doc's house.
That'd be nice to take a bike ride out there if I had a bike.
I got a Schwinn in the barn. You want to borrow it?
Yeah, I could start now.
You could take the Harley.
Yeah, I told you about that. I've been looking at these bikes. My head turns every time I see a bike for sale somewhere. My head turns. But I know that I'm terrified to spend the money on a brand new bike. I'd rather get like a Sportster, something I can handle, something I could, really maneuver with. Start it off with that, or maybe some Honda, smaller Honda, whatever. Just something that would be manageable for the first bike.
Well, a Sportster's taller. They have a taller seat height than most of the other bikes. So you might not want a Sportster. Everybody thinks it's a smaller bike and it's easy to handle, but it's not. It's a little bit. It's got a little higher seat height. It's designed to crank into turns and stuff. A Softail, anything Softail would be a good bike to start with. I wouldn't get a Heritage Softail, but like a Softail Custom or a Dynaglide, something like that. Let me know if you get serious about looking at a bike. Let me know, and I'll take a look at the bike with you or something like that if you want.
Yeah, sounds good. If I can save up a little money, maybe I can do it either this year or maybe even next year, beginning of next year. I'm thinking, I'll start off with something obviously used and maybe $5,000 or $6,000, no more than that.
Don't get hurt.
I'm very careful.
So thinking about that, I was going to bring this up when Ray was in here, but I guess Ray's not coming back.
Why not?
I don't know where he is. I didn't throw him off the net. He was supposed to come back, but he hadn't come back yet. So I got a message today from one of the guys that used to work for me. His name is Jerry Shin, and he used to work in this plant out in Connecticut that I used to manage, and now he's working for another company. Well, anyway, he sends me this news blip about a young man that got killed on Friday in this concrete block plant. Well, this 26-year-old kid got killed in the plant that I used to manage out at New Milford Block, and 25 or 26 years old. Nicest young man you ever want to meet. I shouldn't say halfway talented. He was a talented machine operator, and at the end of the shift, apparently he climbed up on a bin, or he did something he probably shouldn't have done, or certainly shouldn't have done, and he fell onto a moving conveyor, and he got wadded up into the conveyor, and it was over an hour before anybody realized he wasn't around. So he was killed on Friday. So Mike, buy your motorcycle, go have a blast. If you get killed on it, at least you're getting killed on something you enjoy.
Yeah, you're going to die somehow, and it's not like you're going to change the destiny that is before you by doing something, but, whether we do, it's a very sad story about that 26-year-old. Everyone looks and says a young life, and he had a whole future ahead of him, but, you don't know what that future was, and, it was his time, so I actually know several people who've gotten killed on bikes, it's just a matter of taking the right precautions, being careful, being defensive, and you should be okay. But, hey, I could just die in my sleep,
And we had a 62-year-old man at the end of the road. Remember the other night? You might not have been in here, but he had a bunch of sirens going past the house here, and a guy died. He walked his dog. He's 62. He walked his dog, came inside, and died of a heart attack. So, yeah, I totally agree. Be careful. Try not to get hurt. But you know what? You're only going to be here for a certain amount of time, and then you're going to die. Okay? So that's for sure. You're not going to make it too much. You're not going to make it forever. And while you're here, why not make it the best time here that it can be?
I totally agree with that.
I'm going to live forever.
So far, so good. Carl's eating his Wheaties every day. He's going to live a long life.
I hope, Carl, you break the rule and you do get to live forever. But when you do live forever, we expect you to carry the banner of the Toad Harbor Net.
Wow, I wonder what ham radio will be like 75, 80 years from now.
So the Kenwood TS-890 will be an antique?
75 years from now, yeah. Can you imagine how I'll bet you one thing, it will be a lot less fun, if it's even available. I think it'll fade out.
Yeah, we'll be clicking on our, we'll have a little emblem on our left chest, and I'll click it. I'm going, Randy, you there?
Right.
We got to click it 3 times to network in. subspace. It'll all be subspace.
Yeah, we'll just transport to the person we're talking to.
Yeah, we'll transport to breakfast. We'll transport them down to the summit.
And you'll just think it all. Nobody will speak a word.
I transported technology, man. That would be absolutely amazing.
Thought waves.
No, I mean, even if you could just, transport a foot switch or transport, something that you wanted to share with somebody, objects, Well, I did read an article, and this was about 15 years ago, that scientists figured out a way to actually transport a rock from one side of the room to the other, but the rock was molten rock on the other side. They didn't get it back together correctly. That was 15 years ago. So I know there's 3D printing, but no, this was actually matter transportation from one side of a room to another. Was a rock.
Well, if it requires thought, Carl, thought waves, if that's really required, half the hams on ham radio today will still be using their Yaesus and their Kenwoods and the ICOM radios.
Well, some of us, will just be able to think barefoot, and then there'll be others that'll need an amplifier.
Oh, that's so funny. All amplifier.
I wonder what the wavelength is.
No, I think the technology changes. I don't think, I think everybody, amateur radio is always going to be around because it's going to be a primitive form of communications that is always an alternate when everything else fails. But I think where the next leap in technology is going to be in antenna technology, I think.
Yeah, they always concentrate on the radio, more bells and whistles and sexier this and sexier that. But it should be in antennas, but I doubt that. But I don't know. What am I? I don't have any kind of a key to the future. That's for sure.
Think about it though. Most people, and I don't know what percentage, maybe 50. Let's throw a number out there. 60% of hams don't put the money into a proper antenna, or the time, energy, or money into a proper antenna before they spend thousands of dollars on their radios.
I agree wholeheartedly. So if you're a manufacturer, what are you going to manufacture? Radios or antennas?
Radios. And the problem is that the manufactured antennas really aren't, real amateur radio operators like building their own antennas.
Well, they do a great job. I got an antenna that worked from 10 through 160, and it cost $350, and it's basically a dipole with a resistor in between the two leads, So, and they sell them for big money, so that's their job,
Yeah, you have a gigantic folded dipole. Now, I looked at those poles on your pictures. I'm counting 6. Is it going to be 60 feet approximately?
They're 21-foot poles.
Oh, okay. So 125 feet? 120?
That's enough poles for two locations. It starts out at 3 inches, and it telescopes to 1.5 inches. It'll be probably like 65, 70 feet on each corner.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh man, that's double your height right now, more than double.
Right, yeah. That's exactly why I'm doing it.
Yeah, you should definitely see a a very significant signal increase as far as dBi increase in the performance of that antenna.
Well, I hope. I don't know. We'll see. I'm spending a bunch of effort. It's a lot of effort. Spending a lot of time on this thing. So I'm hoping that it'll go up. It'll get up in the air, and everything will be fine, and it'll work better. That's the hope.
Yeah, I wish I had open area like you did. I mean, mine's just too many barriers of trees and stuff like that. But that's why I like fooling around with my footprint that I have. Either I go with a folded dipole, fool around with that and see what happens, or I lift everything up another 30 feet and get it up to 60 feet. So, I mean, it seems to serve me well right now.
You can always do what I'm doing. You just build up corner supports and tilt them up,
Yep. Well, you're going to have a tilt on it, too.
Yeah, it's going to tilt up. I'm going to pull it up with a tractor.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You even got enough room to get a tractor on the other side. And that's going to be all self-supporting, of course, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm going to have loops on it in case I got to guy it to something, but I think it'll be just fine.
And what's the minimum dimension on top?
1.5 pipe.
1.5.
Yeah, so it's a 2-inch pipe. I mean, even think about that. That's 1.5 on the inside.
Man, that thing's got to be unbelievably heavy. No wonder you need a tractor to pull it up. That thing's got to weigh, I'm just guessing, it got to be at least 500 pounds.
That's a good guess. That's about what it weighs. It's the bottom piece of pipe is 200 pounds.
That's a lot of weight, bro.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes, I think it's going to be, I don't know, I think it's going to be kind of fun to tilt up and hook the new loop. I'm building a new antenna. I got a couple triple sleeves for that. That'll be, make that a more efficient antenna. And, I don't know, it's the next step. I've got to do it, right?
Well, you're running, usually you're running around 40 to 50 over, and a couple nights I've seen you at 55, but that's more in the wintertime, but I can't imagine I'm going to have to put attenuation on which I normally tend to do, and I don't have them on tonight, but I mean, I remember when John pulled up in his RV and we were fooling around, he was 60 over in my driveway.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be that much stronger to you, but hopefully it'll just be a bit more efficient and sturdy and all that, and it just, hopefully it'll be a little bit better. I don't know. It just, I keep looking at the antenna at 30 feet high or 35 feet high, and I think I've got to just build it up higher. That's all. That's what I decided to do, so that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I missed ID. W2MUR.
KB2ZVP. WG2E.
K1DSK. Okay, gentlemen, time to call it a night. Talk to you soon. Tomorrow I won't be here. There's a club meeting, but I'll be here on Tuesday. 73, everyone. K1DSK.
How's your eyes, Devin, before you run off? Everything good?
Well, everything's very good. I'm still taking drops in the left eye, which was done, 4 weeks ago. I have just a few more days of one single drop. The right eye, which was done last week, 2 more weeks of drops. But the vision is awesome. No problems. I'm really happy I did it.
I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear that for sure. Okay, good night. 73.
73, Devin. So, Carl, did you do any more on 6 meters yesterday, today?
Yeah, I worked a few guys here and there. Worked Tim, HHN was on there, and it wasn't a real good opening today like there was yesterday, but I, did like Ohio, Kentucky, Florida, some of the New England.
Yeah, I worked Saturday. Seemed to be really, really open in the afternoon and into the evening. But now it's like dead as doornail now.
Yeah, well, there's I think you got till 0300 and then it ends.
Yeah, 10 meters is dead too. It just goes to show you, man. You get a contest and everybody shows up, and now nobody's there. I mean, is that a combination of really great? Is that a coincidence of conditions in contests? I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people that the only time you ever hear them is in a contest. You never run them, cross them in like a random QSO.
It just goes to show you, people got to give 6 meters a regular chance.
Yeah, well, it was pretty good, and you know, I get on like in the morning on the weekends and point the beam, say southwest from here, and there's like little bits of meteor scatter and things you can hear, and you can hear little 4 land stations and things going. So usually there's always something you can hear somewhere.
Well, I mean, during the contest, I was absolutely shocked. I mean, I do my grid into them. By the way, I'm using a 160 dipole, and they were saying, "You got to be kidding me!" So I am talking to a guy in down by West Palm Beach in Florida and Alabama, and Tennessee a couple times, Missouri, and I don't know, some places in the Midwest. I was just shocked. I was shocked that and they were giving me really, really good reports, like 10 over, 20 over.
Yeah, I had a North Dakota in there. I just turned the computer off, so I don't have the log handy, but I did get North Dakota yesterday.
Yeah, that's great. I had a 0 too. I can't remember where they were from. I think it was Missouri.
Well, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to call it a night here for the downstairs, and I'm going to head to the upstairs. So we'll see all you guys around. WG2E.
73. 73's Carl. I'm going to hop off as well.
Yeah, bedtime for me. 73, everybody. Have a good evening. Sleep well. We'll see you tomorrow or the next day.
VP.
73. Night all. 73. WA2E.
Yeah, good night, Randy, and Maureen, and Doc, and everyone else. 73.
73.
Who's there? Where is that? Where is that?
HD3 KXB.
KA3SDK.